Murphy Stadium, the scene. Crystal clear Sunday afternoon, 80 degrees. The Denver Broncos, #1 team in the AFC West, challenged by the San Diego Chargers. A crowd of 50,000 expected. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg with Bob Trumpy. The standings first in the AFC West, where the Denver Broncos have a one-game lead. The Chargers have won their last two, so a victory for the home team, San Diego, would really turn the AFC West upside down.
1-2 in a row, had a bye week, kind of examined themselves, had their defensive coaches look at their offensive coaches look at their defense, and the players are beginning to believe. That's what Bobby Ross left me with the impression, that they're starting to understand what he wants. They're starting to play the kind of football that Bobby Ross wants. This is a better team than their record indicates.
And in Denver, there's more talk about whether Dan Reeves will be rehired than there is about a team that is 5-2, a team that has trouble on the road.
Big trouble. They have yet to score a touchdown in this 1992 season on the road. All field goals. And, of course, whenever you talk about the Denver Broncos, you've got to begin with John Elway, one of the most remarkable producers at quarterback that I think this game has ever seen. And every time you play John Elway and the Denver Bronco offense, you have to worry about him, not for 58 minutes, Dick, but we know for all 60.
And we've learned already this year that John Elway in that fourth quarter is double tough, and you better have more than just a touchdown lead against Elway. 3 of his victories this year at home have come from behind.
He is one of the biggest threats, I think, in the NFL because he makes so much out of so little so often. Bill Arnsparger told us when you play John Elway, you've got to extend coverage, you've got to extend pressure, you've got to extend the play until the whistle blows on every single snap.
Elway had shoulder surgery in the offseason, told us yesterday that that right wing of his feels better than it has in 5 years. Brad DeLuiso to kick it off to San Diego. Nate Lewis, number 81. DeLuiso has had only 5 of 27 kickoffs return. Make that 5 out of 28. He's an extra weapon. They keep 3 kickers because of his kickoff prowess. Here come before the first snap, we already have one of the AFC Western debates. Stan Humphries, acquired from the Washington Redskins at the start of the season, has these blockers, an underrated offensive line. They're big and they're good. Swain, Moton, Hall, Richards, and Thompson. In the backfield with Humphries, Marion Butts returns. As you know, Rod Bernstein had a career game, injured a shoulder. He may be out for the year. Derek Walker, the tight end. Anthony Miller has the speed with Nate Lewis, and Harmon and Jefferson join the crew in the 3 wide. Humphries, who played his ball at Northeast Louisiana, out of Shreveport, the home of so many outstanding quarterbacks through the years.
Look at this formation, Dick. 3 tight ends by San Diego, extra linebacker for Denver.
Humphries comes out throwing, a quick and complete to Anthony Miller, and Miller out across the 30 and a first down San Diego. That brings cheer. San Diego guilty of running right on the first play most of the year.
They tricked him. You see, count the linebackers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With 3 tight ends, Denver expects San Diego to run, and San Diego's not that foolish. I mean, they look at themselves, too. You put 5 linebackers in there. Certainly Mecklenburg, one of the big ones. We'll throw the football for a first down.
There's the albino rhino, and with him, Trailer. That's a good name, Keith Trailer, because that's just what he's going to be today, a trailer looking for that extra H-back. There he goes, trailing Derek Walker as Marion Butts gets his first carry of the day, picks up only a couple. Butts, who has had some brilliant years, just 2 years ago, 1,225 yards, but he has a knee problem.
Dick, we saw Trailer go in motion. Here's Trailer right here. He's following the H-back. This is not for coverage. This is a run stoppage defense. They want one more guy at the point of attack. When that H-back goes in motion, Trailer, a big inside linebacker, is the designated stopper.
2nd and 8. Humphries, a strong-armed 27-year-old in his 3rd year in the league. Fakes the draw and then throws deep, and he has a man. Lewis incomplete at the 41 of Denver. Dennis Smith on the coverage, the veteran from Southern California.
We mentioned the strength of Humphrey's arm. He threw that ball 30 yards, absolutely like a rifle shot, so hard it goes right through Lewis's hands. We will see two of the NFL's strongest arms. We know about Elway's. I think Humphries is an unknown gun.
Came here from the Skins for a number 4 or number 3 draft pick next year, depending on what Humphries does in San Diego. Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. 3rd and 8. Ooh, Denver may have been offside. Humphries to the sidelines to Anthony Miller. Is it a catch? No, he's out of bounds. Now let's check the penalty flag. It appeared that Mike Kroll might have leaned offside the Denver linebacker. Jerry Markbride is our referee today. And it is offside against the Broncos.
Dick, in doing a film study, my film study on the Denver-San Diego game up in Denver, it was very obvious that the Denver Broncos were trying to cheat the line of scrimmage, anticipate the snap count. And in talking to...
Offside, number 51, defense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
But in talking to Bobby Ross and also some offensive players, I mentioned they really anticipated the snap count. Would you go on a quick count or a double count? And they said, yes, we plan on doing that. That was an example of it.
They were practicing that double count yesterday. So they get an extra chance at 3rd down and a long 3. Harmon 33 in motion. Humphries. Oh, that was right to some white shirts. Harmon was the closest Charger. There to cover an extra defensive back, Lilo Lang, along with 24, Wyman Henderson.
That was a 5-man rush, 6 defensive backs in the ball game, and Humphries was telling Harmon, hey, that's my fault. I missed you.
Arthur Marshall will be the kick return man as Bobby Ross looks at John Kidd, his punter. Kidd, former Buffalo Bill. And there's Marshall, who's had some excellent results, over a 14-yard average. Beautiful swing. The rookie from Georgia lets it bounce, and it is in the end zone. 61 yards, 41 net on the punt. When we return, it'll be Denver from their 20.
Rust. What it can do to the outside of your car, weak, neglected antifreeze can do to the inside. You need the tough anti-corrosion formula of Prestone. Use fresh Prestone every year to give your radiator and cooling systems heavy-duty rust and corrosion protection. No matter what happens to the outside, Prestone protects the inside. Prestone stops the rust. It stops your car.
The last thing the average person wants is the average car. That's why the new Mazda brought you the return of the pure sports car, the all-new RX-7. And the return of the Roadster, the Miata. That's why our 626 feels personal. And our MX-6 feels timeless. It's why every Mazda will fulfill its promise in a way no other car can.
Weekend. No tie, no briefcase, just plastic.
It all boils down to this. No other card you can carry is accepted in more places and in more ways.
Food.
At home and abroad.
I got it.
Than MasterCard. It's the only card you need.
Rooms.
MasterCard.
Not a bad day's work.
Master the moment.
Junior Seau, the brilliant young linebacker for the Chargers, who has been sidelined with a groin injury, did not practice full bore all week, and even in the warm-ups today, you're watching him, didn't seem to be going all out. On offense for Denver, Freeman, Davidson, left side of the line has been suspect. Kartz, Wydell, and Lanier, the veteran at right tackle. Reggie Rivers, Gaston Green, the running backs, with Russell and Jackson wideouts, tight end Clarence Kay. From the 20-yard line, first possession. And the give to Gaston Green, and he's done for a 2-yard loss, and nothing wrong with Seau on that play.
That probably makes Junior Seau feel great, because Before the game, he was not sure exactly what he could do. Pulled groin muscle is a very restrictive pull, Dick. And any kind of explosion in your leg, it's at the top of your thigh. Boy, it can tear. It's not treatable. The only thing you can do with a pulled groin is just let it rest. He sat out in that last week. Now he feels good about the rest of the day.
2nd and 11 into the eyes of Seau. He's got the strength of an offensive lineman and the speed of a wide receiver. Elway's first throw to the sidelines. Fumbled, and the ball is picked up by Sandy. No, they're going to call it an incomplete pass. And the former Steeler, Delton Hall, will return it to the official. Seau again on the hit.
John Elway looked in the first 2 snaps at 6 defensive backs by San Diego. As you see the end of the play, Seau right there, ball on the ground, excellent call. And it's now 3rd and long. And San Diego is, these 2 teams know each other so well. There's more going on off the field, you know. This is a real chess match for these opposing coaches.
Elway in the shotgun. Throws deep to Jackson, incomplete. Darren Carrington, number 29, a former Bronco, was in the midst of it, and his timing was perfect. Pass goes incomplete.
It was intended for Jackson. We saw the ball overthrown by Humphreys because of real steam on the ball. That one, too, I think, kind of ate Mark Jackson up a little bit.
Ruben Rodriguez just signed this week, left-footed punter, with Mike Horan perhaps lost for the season with an injury. And Rodriguez first punt. Eric Bieniemy had trouble keeping his footing and then raced away. It's down at the 32, and that's where the Chargers will have it when we come back.
Only Delta gives you more flights from over here to over there. Only Delta flies you non-stop to more cities from over here to over there. In fact, only Delta flies you non-stop to more cities in Europe than all these airlines combined. Delta, we love to fly, and it shows the world over.
Once in a great while, a car comes along with such timeless beauty, such intrepid performance, you can't help but make predictions. What do you do when you think something is destined to be a collector's item? You put one away for safekeeping. The new MX-6 from the new Mazda.
Mazda, it just feels right.
Then again, who can wait that long?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime now has a maximum strength cough suppressant and a maximum strength antihistamine. So you get the relief you need to rest without alcohol. Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime. Tough medicine without alcohol.
Here. There. Everywhere. The DeskJet Portable. DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Make it happen.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right. By Prestone, it stops the rust that stops your car. By Norelco patented lift and cut shavers, we make clothes comfortable. And by Old Spice, cool, crisp, and clean, it puts the wind in your sails.
Welcome back to sunny San Diego. The Chargers' second possession at their 32-yard line. Come out in that power, 3 tight ends, and then shift. They're using Derek Walker, Dwayne Young, and Deems May. Only wide receiver, Anthony Miller. They give to Butts, breaking tackles, and that's the way Butts was running when he was picking up the 100-yard games. Michael Brooks makes the tackle. Butts, if you'll recall, in the first game of the season, injured against Kansas City, a knee injury, and hasn't been the same, although he said this week feels better.
This was an audible by San Diego. They put the 3 tight ends in, then spread them out. What it did is effectively spread the Denver defense, and Butts with a nice hole up a right tackle for a nice pickup.
9 yards. They go 2 wide receiver, 2 tight ends. Butts finds a hole, runs right through Dennis Smith. First down at the 50. Steve Atwater finally got him to the ground.
Now, Dick, this is an aspect of the San Diego offense that's dangerous. This is called the wham on the nose tackle. It's led by a big tight end. You'll see him set Cragen up. Butts runs right behind it, makes a nice move to get behind the play. You see Dennis Smith and Steve Atwater on the tackle. They're called safeties. They play like linebackers.
As Walker, who played at Michigan, his younger brother, a junior linebacker starter with the Wolverines. Marcus. Butts again, and he's into Denver territory, but barely. Michael Brooks helping to snack up the play. It was Kenny Walker there first.
Dick, first series we saw 5 linebackers. We saw Traylor 54 in there. Second series, not there. Don't know if anything has happened, but now second down and long, he would not be there, but it looked like a good idea in that first series. Don't know why they stopped on the second.
First-year coach Bobby Ross brings in Ronnie Harmon, who is a wing to the left. 2 wide receivers left with Harmon in the slot. And now Harmon in motion. Humphreys guns, and Harmon has the catch. Tackled immediately by Charles Dimry, number 29. Short of the first down. Well, spotted at the 42.
Harmon, one of the most valuable players you can find on this San Diego team. Excellent pattern runner. Had arthroscopic knee surgery, and 2 days afterwards was back practicing. Absolutely remarkable.
Leslie O'Neal, who has had a brilliant year, the defensive end, same injury, waited a few more days and did not have the operation here, but went up to Vail, Colorado, and so is not available today. But O'Neal expected to be back in uniform next Sunday. Harmon diving close to the yardstick, and it appears he has it. They push him back, but the spot is at the 39. First down.
San Diego doing such an outstanding job of fooling Denver just with their personnel. Harmon normally a receiver, not a runner. So Denver sees Harmon in the backfield, expects pass, San Diego runs.
55-year-old Bobby Ross pacing the sidelines. His college coach from VMI is here to offer his support and maybe even a critique afterwards. He's the one who taught him to rule with an iron fist. Boss Ross, and there is his coach in the white hat. He wanted to be here for the Denver game. He said, because I want to see Elway in person. Humphreys tackled for a big loss at the 49-yard line. Steve Atwater, the Pro Bowl safety for the Broncos.
Now, I wonder about the smartness of this play. This is a flea flicker. Butts back to Humphreys. You see 27 on the left. Steve Atwater, they catch him in a blitz. I mean, when in doubt, Denver, we're not sure what's going on. Let's blitz, and it works.
It's bad luck for San Diego and good guessing for Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator of the Broncos. A 10-yard deficit, 2nd and 20. Harmon back in. And may not. Well, it wasn't the 30-second clock. Illegal procedure, apparently.
Full start, number 65, offense.
David
Prior
Richards.
to the snap, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
San Diego's going along so good, just running the bread and butter plays, just with the formation and motion, and just bending the mind of Denver a little bit. Then they get tricky, and now it's 2nd down in a week and a half.
Well, you can't fault either coach, Ross nor Reeves, because their team's not scoring much. Denver averaging 14 a game, and San Diego 13 points a game. Has a man, and a beautiful throw. Anthony Miller sliding with what appears to be a first down in front of Wyman Henderson. Now that's about a 30 yards in the air on a rope.
We saw San Diego play Kansas City first game of the season. Bob Galliano was the quarterback. Not even a play San Diego coaches would consider. But with Humphrey's strong arm, he can stand on the near hash and throw to the far sideline.
Needed 25 for the first down. Picked up 17 of it. It'll be 3rd down and call it 8th. Take the draw to Harmon. Humphreys in big trouble. Kroll and Brooks, the linebackers, pinch him down.
Good job. Good job, Denver defense. Both Brooks and Kroll were spying on Humphreys. And when he started to run up the field, you'll see the two linebackers right here. They make sure that Stan Humphreys can't run up the field. And when he's flushed from the pocket, there they are to make the tackle. There's 51. 56 comes in to help. Good defense, Denver.
It would be a 55-yard field goal attempt, so John Carney not in. John Kidd is. Arthur Marshall at the other end for the Broncos. Fair catch, Marshall at the 10-yard line. Now the Broncos start deep in their own end with 6:22 left in the opening period.
Get in line, stay in step, or maybe you'd rather go your own way, in which case, check out the all-new 93 626 ES from the new Mazda, the company that's put a twist on everything from luxury cars to roadsters. Now we've done the same to sedans, with a V6, an airbag, and ABS. Introducing the all-new Mazda 626.
Mazda, it just feels right.
This is the runaround. To not get the runaround, call an Allstate agent who promises that after talking with you about your claim, his claims expert will call, usually in an hour. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hager's new 100% cotton pants solve a little problem our competition simply hasn't been able to straighten out. Hager wrinkle-free cotton, 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
Why did Hertz invent #1 Club Gold service? To beat the rush hour. See, every plane and everybody seems to land at once. But with Gold service, there's no stopping at the counters and no paperwork. Instead, you go nonstop to your waiting car with your name in lights. Only Hertz has #1 Club Gold. The best reason yet why Hertz beats the rush hour. To Hertz, the rest of the day is a piece of cake.
There's the VMI coach that was the tutor of Bobby Ross. And later Ross as an assistant under Coach McKinnon. And, you know, those coaches don't forget coaches, and they make sure that they're with them as long as they want to be.
And, you know, when you asked Bobby Ross, who was a great influence on you? Bam, John McKenna. I mean, not a split-second hesitation.
Now the defense of the Chargers, second in the NFL, second to Philadelphia. Digs in, Denver at the 10. And they give to Sammy Smith, the former Miami Dolphin, and 55 Seau there again. He is a remarkable athlete. I mean, a man that big, 250 pounds, that agile, runs that fast.
And what a bright attitude to be around. You know, smile on his face, loves what he does, enjoys every day of practice, hates it when he's hurt and can't play.
If there's a negative, it's the fact that he's so eager, sometimes he can be fooled.
Yes.
He just wants to make every tackle. And off inside for a couple tough earned yards for Gaston Green.
You know, Dick, I got to tell you, Denver's having big trouble here, and they're doing it with San Diego with 6 defensive backs in the ball game, 4 defensive linemen, and just 1 linebacker. So make that 3 defensive linemen and 6 defensive backs. So they're really having trouble running the ball.
Leslie O'Neal is their top sack man with 5 injured. They're using Steve Hendrickson as a defensive end in this formation as Elway from the shotgun. Whistles one incomplete. Terrific defensive play by the Chargers. Donald Frank. You saw Frank just come into the game as another DB, and he reached in with a hand and knocked it away.
Again, that was a 4-1-6. You see a very, very poor pattern run by the receiver. Nothing to that pattern. 0. You got to do better than that, or Frank will intercept it the next time you come out there.
So the Broncos have had 6 offensive plays and have gained a total of 2 yards against the Charger defense. Ruben Rodriguez, like Horan, a left-footed kicker, and he sends a beautiful spiral out of there. The enemy all the way back to his 34-yard line. 40, 45, and to the 48.
And there's no flags on this play. Wait a minute. There's no flags on a punt return.
54-yard kick, 15 yards on the Bieniemy return. Timeout.
Norelco doesn't just shave close, but incredibly close. Or merely shave in comfort, but exceptional comfort. Because inside Norelco's floating heads, our lift and cut system lifts the hair so when it's cut, it can drop below skin level without the blades touching your face. And once you've shaved that close and comfortable, you know you'll always be comfortable shaving with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
It's a refreshing taste from a cold, cold place. Yeah, it's easy going down from the very first round. Pure as can be, it's natural, you see. Wow. It's smooth, smooth, silver bullet smooth. Yeah, well, that's our story. Now it's your call. Cold Coors Light, it's the right beer now. That's all. Bye-bye.
While the fluid styling of the Mazda 929 may be timeless, this generous offer from Mazda is considerably shorter. Now you can lease the 929, complete with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and European leather, for just $349 per month. So see your Mazda dealer today. Like all good things, this offer must soon come to an end.
Welcome back to Kenberg with Bob Trumpy at Jack Murphy San Diego Stadium. And there are the sidelines of the Chargers, the total offense of San Diego plus a few others.
Yeah, what they're trying to do there is to disguise as long as they possibly can personnel on the field to the Denver defensive coaches. And as they come out and line up, then Denver has to match up, sometimes making a very late substitution to match up properly.
Now, the first possession was at the 20, the next at the 32, and now San Diego starts from its 48-yard line. No score in the game, 4:46 left in the opening quarter. Little misdirection, and then Butts is tackled at the line of scrimmage. On the counter is Greg Cragen. Tough on the nose for the Denver Broncos.
Tough as nails. Again, the Chargers try to spread out the defense and then run the counter. Guard and tackle pull. Little sidestep by Butts. Actually well defensed by Mike Kroll, 51. Kind of collapsed the hole. And then Cragen is there to make the tackle. This is a tough team to run against, even though they're not big up front.
San Diego having more success on offense thus far as Humphrey goes to work. Scrambling up the middle. Flag is down as Tyrone Braxton makes the tackle. It could be a first down for Humphreys if it counts, but San Diego is retreating. Holding against the Chargers. Now, instead of a first down in Denver territory, Jerry Markbright announces.
Holding, number 53, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Center Courtney Hall.
See if we can pick up what Courtney Hall did. There he is at center for the San Diego Chargers, one of the youngest offensive linemen when he came into the league. Well, I may have had a handful of shirt there on Greg Cragen, 71.
Enough in the officials' eyes, and so on the 10-yard walk-off, they are back at the 38, the Chargers. Humphreys down the middle to the tight end. Derek Walker at the 40 of Denver. First down, 22 on the play.
Two things, Dick. One, you noticed that San Diego went on the quick count so that the Denver Broncos could not change. And then two, linebacker coverage on Walker, a young man who didn't catch the ball much at Michigan, was more of a blocker, but has excellent hands. Is a weapon that San Diego can use a lot.
Bobby Ross told us at the start of the season Walker was the one player that just jumped out on him. He said, I didn't expect that he'd be that good a player. Marion Butt's wearing a brace on that left knee and not running with the power that we saw the past few years. He keeps grading himself during the course of the season. It's 60% better. Now it's 70. He says 100%. Doesn't look as if he has quite the power.
This guy is a sledgehammer of a runner when he runs and is healthy. Runs well and is healthy. And, of course, the counter series, I think, more lends itself to Rod Bernstein because he's a little niftier outside. Butts is more straight ahead.
Bernstein, a career game, 150 yards against Indianapolis last week, and then injured his shoulder late and could be lost for the year. Humphreys has a man open. Touchdown, Miller. Humphreys, who has thrown only 3 touchdown passes, hits Anthony Miller. The scramble made it work, and Miller released. No one picked him up. 38 yards on the score.
What an adjustment he made on that pattern, Dick. Woo!
Try for point by John Carney. San Diego takes the 7-0 lead.
Again, the Chargers came in what is commonly referred to now in the NFL as a cluster situation where you put as many receivers as you can in one spot. And here's Anthony Miller right here. Do I have the right number? Wait a minute, let me change it. That's Anthony Miller. This is Harmon. But that's a cluster. What they're trying to do is get as many guys in coverage over there as you can. Now, this is originally designed as an out. As Humphrey scrambles, Miller turns up. Beautiful adjustment. Humphrey right on the line of scrimmage. There you see the 3 receivers. Causes a lot of problems for defenses. Watch the out. And now, that's just a normal adjustment to a scrambling quarterback. The coverage is dropped by Wyman Henderson. 38 yards later, a touchdown.
Less than 2.5 minutes for the San Diego drive that began at their 48. And with 2 minutes, 21 seconds left in the first quarter, San Diego up 7-0.
Strong arm. Strong arm. I mean, there is no substitute for it in professional football.
And yet that was a touch pass, a long touch, but he had to float that one high enough.
Well put. Absolutely.
Carney to kick it off. Elton Montgomery and Sammy Smith are deep. Smith wants it at the 6. Caught from behind and dropped at the 17-yard line. Sean Jefferson leading the way. Next Saturday, don't miss the season premiere, NBA Inside Stuff. It's here again in the NBA, hosted by Ahmad Rashad and Will Obey. Magic is back. Ahmad sits down with the Lakers superstar, Earvin Magic Johnson. Don't miss his thoughts on his return to the NBA with the Lakers. Plus a very special, as you can well imagine, jam session. It's all next Saturday at noon. NBC, NBA Inside Stuff. Elway has been running on first down, so he comes out throwing this time. And it's incomplete, intended for veteran Vance Johnson.
Well, I don't know what's happening here, but Denver is facing a 4-1-6 defense, which says run. But because they haven't had much ability to run there, they're forced to pass right through Vance Johnson's hands. This Bill Arnsparger defense creating problems for Dan Reeves and his offense.
Reeves, who calls the plays. Elway can change at the line of scrimmage, but basically it's the Ditka Reeves system. I call the plays, don't change them too often. 2nd and 10. Elway looking for his first completion, and he gets it to fullback Reggie Rivers at the 27-yard line. Seau, the tackler, and that'll be close to the yardsticks.
The tackle by Junior Seau.
Nice little circle pattern run by the fullback. Elway's been trying to make a completion to the outside of the defense. This time he goes inside for the completion.
And close enough for the measurement, as Elway now 1 for 5 passing. And it will be a first down for the Broncos. Their first of the game.
Here's Rivers. Nice little circle pattern. They've been trying to get to the outside. They've had very little success, so now they go back to the inside. From the shotgun. Well, Elway puts it right on the money.
Rivers goes out as Dan Reeves makes a change. Sammy Smith now the running back. Smith showing his speed to get around the corner. Junior Seau thought he had him for a loss. Finally, Tony Blaylock on the corner makes the tackle, but he kicked free of Seau's grasp.
Seau got up limping too. This may be the first part of that full groin. What? He can't really extend on that leg. He gets up very gingerly. But Sammy Smith is a guy that I like because he can move the pile, break a tackle now and then. But I think if Seau is healthy, completely healthy, he makes that tackle.
Second down, a short yard. 3 down for Elway. It's Smith, and he slams to the 40-yard line and a first down. Make it Reggie Rivers. And Seau gets into it with Keith Karts, the center. That reminds us of a story. Karts from California, and he was a teammate of Steve Hendrickson. Hendrickson, Rockethead, they call him here, who can play just about anything and everything for San Diego. We get time, we'll have to remind us to tell you the story. It'll take a while about California and how tough Karts is. Smith back in, first down at the 41. Karts over the ball. Elway, hammered as he delivers incomplete.
Just threw it away.
Chris Mims, the rookie from Tennessee, the #1 draft pick of the Chargers, put on the pressure, and that's the end of the first quarter.
Yo, man, 3-on-3 at this tournament. We're gonna play you guys 2-on-3.
Gentlemen, you need 3 men on this course, and he's next.
Can you handle the rock? Can you jump? Dribble? Shoot? Not really. Can you pass? Yeah, I can pass. Oh, I'm serious. I want to shoot a little more next time. Next time. Way next time.
Old Spice. It puts the wind in your sails.
Every 20 seconds, a car is stolen. So Liberty Mutual is giving some police a powerful homing device that finds the car, which lowers insurance. And this device also finds the thief, who finds himself behind bars.
At Liberty Mutual, we're facing the issues that face our customers.
Tuesday.
Can you hear me? Who are you?
Flying saucers. Sam leaps beyond space and time. It's an alien encounter on Quantum Leap, NBC Tuesday.
Dick, you can see the problems Denver's having with this defense. First of all, 6 defensive backs. There's the 6th. Now, up front, this is O'Neill's spot right here, and Grossman is playing there. This is Grossman's spot. This is Hendrickson playing here, the linebacker. This is Mims coming from the inside. So Denver is looking at different numbers in different spots, and they're having trouble identifying exactly who's where and what defense they're playing.
Sounds like the defenses that have been confusing the Buffalo Bills of late.
Yes, very similar. That's a good point. Very similar.
We open the second quarter, 7-0 San Diego. 2nd and 10 for Elway. Underneath he goes to Rivers again, and it's 8 to 9 yards for the fullback. Seau, the tackler, brings up 3rd and short. Rivers, who played at Southwest Texas State, a free agent a year ago, selected by Denver, a most interesting young man, wrote a weekly column for the Rocky Mountain News last year. Has his degree in journalism. He can write his own game story. 3rd and 1. Shannon Sharp lining up on the right side. Elway with a great fake. Going for Sharp. Incomplete. No flags down, although there was some movement right at the snap.
San Diego certainly didn't buy the fake, did they? There's triple coverage on Shannon Sharp. They fake right at the linebackers. There is movement, you're right, but somehow he still remains onside. Seau makes the tackle on the ball carrier, but 3 defensive backs covering Shannon Sharp.
So Ruben Rodriguez comes in to punt for the 3rd time. A week ago, he was working here in Southern California as a construction employee. Traded that hard hat for the helmet. High, wobbler. The enemy, late fair catch at the 9-yard line. Earlier today, the Houston Oilers and Warren Moon with a 26-10 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals now 2-5, and Houston goes to 5-2, and it'll be the Steelers in Houston. Our early game next Sunday on NBC. Indianapolis will be playing the Chargers here, and the Chargers, who had the last place schedule, playing the Colts twice, playing the other last place teams, and that's why this game is so important, Bob Trumpy, for them. They can beat Denver, the leaders in the AFC West. They're 3-4. They tighten the entire race, and they look at their schedule and say, who knows how good we might be. Not much there for Marion Butts, who crosses the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 8.
To respond to your comment, one of the biggest things that a new coach and coaching staff has to do is be salesmen. And with 2 straight wins, as you look at the, on the right, the San Diego Chargers' next 6 games, and in the last couple of weeks, Bobby Ross has said our players are beginning to practice like we want, play like we want, and we'll win.
How many times did we hear a player say intense when they talk about practice or Ross?
You're right.
Humphreys. Downfield to Miller. Can't quite turn upfield. Runs out of bounds at the 41. 30 yards on the play. The same hookup that led to the 38-yard touchdown for San Diego. Humphreys to Miller.
And you see, Dick, the Broncos have to commit so many people to stop the run that you see zone there, and Miller just goes by the corner and to the outside. The safety Atwater is supposed to rotate out there, but Miller with outstanding speed, off to a great start today.
And this season, he leads the Chargers with 24 catches coming in. 3 tight ends. Miller in motion. Play action. Humphreys runs into his own blockers and then is tackled and sacked from behind by Brian Soche. Well, he had a half sack coming in. Soche from Northwest Oklahoma State. Played, of course, with Houston and Miami Dolphins. Picked up by Denver last year.
Was a nose tackle. They moved him to defensive end. Done a pretty nice job. I thought that was a very smart play by Stan Humphreys right there. Could have tried to throw the ball down the field, but at times you just got to eat the ball, sit on it, go back, try again. Very smart play.
2nd and 14. And Here's Butts through a big hole. Boy, you give him a running start like that, and you've got a first down at the Denver 47.
Dick again through formation and personnel. They got the Denver defense spread out all over the place. That's a 16-yard pickup. And out here, you have both linebackers. There's a three-man front. There's a defensive end, and what they do is audible and take advantage of going right up through the middle of the defense. Excellent play call.
Terrific block by guard Eric Moten, 77, to wall off that linebacker. Butts again. And a 26-year-old former Florida State star, where he's known more for his blocking than for his ball carrying, has about 4 more. Butts from a little town in Georgia. Sylvester, small rural boy is the way he referred to himself, that just went to Florida State and blocked for people like Sammy Smith, the Denver Broncos.
But was more known as a special team player down there at Florida State. Had just 64 college carries as a running back.
What a find. A 7th-round pick by San Diego 3 years ago. He has 45 yards thus far. Ronnie Harmon in to replace him, and Harmon to the 39 will be a yard and a half shy of a first down. Let's go back to the 16-yard first down run by Marion Butts.
Again, Dick, the interesting thing is, I think you saw, when you see what's here, there's the nose tackle. There's a man up in front here. Here's the defensive end. Now watch the way they wall everybody out. This is an audible, and the offensive line has just got more people than the defensive line. Excellent audible call by Stan Humphries. And again, San Diego with personnel doing an excellent job of spreading out the Denver defense.
3rd and a short 2, and Butts is back in the lineup. San Diego leading 7-0. Fumble, and Denver recovers at the 40-yard line. That play misfiring. Humphries was looking for Butts in a different place.
Yeah, I'm wondering who they're going to blame the fumble on. You know, Butts does not fumble the ball. It did not look like Humphries got it to him. Now, I think there's a guard. No, there's not a guard pulling here. I would say that Stan Humphries, he reverse pivoted out. He may not. Maybe he shouldn't have. It didn't look like he turned the right way.
Well, Butts, who didn't fumble the entire year when he rushed for 1,200+ yards, it's Denver's ball.
With its distinctive aerodynamic shape, anti-lock brakes, advanced engine technology, and roomy interior, the Honda Civic EX sedan is often admired by other car makers. Some we know, some we don't.
Miller Genuine Draft. It's cold filtered. That's how we keep our commitment to everyone who knows that draft beer is real beer, pure beer, the best beer. It's why so many people can enjoy a beer whose taste hasn't been changed by heat pasteurization, and why so many people are making a change of their own to the Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold.
Humphries has only started 10, 11 NFL games. It's the quarterback's mistake, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he turned Washington Redskin on him here. He turns the wrong way. Everyone is blocking like it's a straight handoff. You got to lay that one on Humphrey.
Mike Kroll recovered for Denver, so the Broncos with a break. Trailing 7-0, 10 minutes to go in the half. Gaston Green. Not enough speed to get around Junior Seau and Bert Grossman. Grossman shut it off, forced it inside.
Grossman blew that play up, Dick. Blew it up big time. He's playing up here. He just gets right in the way, right into the face of the pulling guard and the lead blocker. And Seau there to assist.
Seau got out up limping. Blaze Winter also injured. He's down. Blaze, when there's Seau, he stays in. George Thornton.
A lot of limps there in that group.
Well, one play and 3 men, 2 limping and 1 down. Winter, an incredible story. He's a 30-year-old in his 7th season out of Syracuse, was drafted by the Colts in '84. Last year was released in training camp by Green Bay. And he tried all year long, did everything for someone to give him a chance. And no one would hire him. A young man who in the 6th grade was put in a retarded class because he had trouble speaking, a cleft palate. He made his own video and sent it out. He would not give up. He said, I know I can play in the NFL. Well, the Chargers finally gave him a chance this year. And Winter's a starter at defensive tackle.
The thing I like is he didn't just send that tape to teams. He drove it to their front door. 7,000 miles he and his wife put on a car, traveling around the country to these NFL teams.
Talk about perseverance, determination. While he limps off, favoring that left knee. Well, we talked about the tape. We asked if we could see. This is, he wanted to say, hey, look, I got the speed. I'm 280 pounds. I can snap the ball. I'm agile. You don't even have to lift the weights. Look at the, look at the body. I'm strong. You can contact me, Green Bay, Wisconsin. He sent that to every NFL team. Still didn't get called, so he delivered it. Elway, what a strike. And it's a first down at the Charger 48 to Vance Johnson. The first time Denver has been in Charger territory. Darren Carrington made the tackle. There's Winter. Blaze, B-L-A-I-S-E, named after a Roman Catholic saint. And now Seau, trying to get Seau off the field. I think the coach is seeing him limp a bit, and he comes off.
You got to drag him off the field, though.
Gaston Green, the lone running back. And it's Green. He's to the 42-yard line. Henry Rollings and Delton Hall make the stop. There's Rolling from Nevada Reno.
Nice crackback block by Shannon Sharp. He came back inside and made the big block, and he's now on the ground. Sharp put his head right into the outside linebacker. You're going to see top of the screen, just somebody show up there all of a sudden. Bang, that's Sharp. He hit Richards. Nice gain, Denver.
They attend Sharp, and we have a timeout.
Nothing satisfies so many people in so many different ways. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Introducing the 190 horsepower Prelude VTEC. It's very quick, no matter how you look at it.
Take the heat out of shaving. Soothe your razor burn with post-shave conditioning hydrogel from Old Spice. Because when you've got fruit, who needs promises?
Hager's new 100% cotton pants solve a little problem our competition simply hasn't been able to straighten out. Hager wrinkle-free cotton, 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by American Honda, who has been making quality cars in America for the past 10 years. By Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars. By Sony Handycam, America's most popular camcorder. And by new Hager wrinkle-free cotton pants. 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
Welcome back to San Diego, where the Chargers lead the Broncos 7-0. Gaston Green, pickup of 7 on first down. Shannon Sharp left the field under his own power. 2nd and 3, and Elway. Oh, off the mitts.
Goodness.
Of Mark Jackson, the veteran from Purdue. Doesn't drop many like that. That hit him right between the 8 and the 0.
The only excuse I can make for Jackson is he's staring right back into the sun. See the shadow? This is a lousy excuse, but he is looking right back at the sun. That ball ate him up. You got to catch that ball with your hand.
The sun isn't down there. I mean, if that ball had been thrown way up in the air, okay, but that ball was 3 feet high all the way to it.
I said it was a lousy excuse.
Even tight ends stick up for the wide receivers, huh? 3rd down, a long 3. Elway, their chance to scramble. Oh, look at Sayal. Oh, picked up the man. That's why Elway pulled up. It would appear that he had running room for the first down, but he saw Sayal.
Well, Junior Sayal was there for one reason, too, to spy on John Elway. Now the timing, the athletic ability, the hand-eye coordination. They don't make linebackers like that, but that's what he plays.
Well, he was an outstanding basketball player as a senior and a wide receiver. Rodriguez, his punt into the end zone, 42-22 net. Chargers on the touchback will return. 8:03 left in the half.
Images presented by Honda. With muscle and armor intact, it's sometimes hard to relate to the football player as man. But if you look closer, it's the eyes that open the window to his heart and soul.
Why is the Honda Accord the best-selling car in America? Maybe it's the reliability. Maybe it's the value. Maybe it's the interior.
If you want to go places in any career, ask yourself, can I perform under pressure? Can I be counted on to get the job done? You can learn how in the Army, so when you're ready to take off, you'll know you can go far.
On the river of life, things change. An Allstate Protection Review with your Allstate agent can make sure your coverage is right for you now. So let your Allstate agent set you on the right course. You're in good hands with Allstate.
1991 Kentucky Derby winner Strike the Gold. 1992 Belmont Stakes winner 8P Indy. Sensation of the fall, Sultry Song. Plus Arazi, Pleasant Tap, and the greatest field ever assembled for the richest day in thoroughbred racing. The Breeders' Cup, next Saturday on NBC.
And here in San Diego, both sides waiting for that bell to ring, open the gate and let it go. And here come the 11 Charger thoroughbreds. And as Wade Phillips sees what personnel's on the field, then he makes his substitution. Son of bum. He said he's been a son of a bum all of his life.
And proud of it.
Eric the enemy in for the first time. Humphreys guns it out to Miller. Ball tapped quick and getting back on his feet. Picks up 3 more yards and nearly a first down.
Now, this young man, Anthony Miller, one of the game's great receivers last year, really lost confidence in himself. First game of the season, Dick, was not wearing gloves. Remember, I asked him, why'd you wear gloves last year? You're not wearing them now. He said, a lack of confidence. So now he's got the gloves back on. This guy, over 89 and 90, averaged close to 70 catches and 1,400 yards receiving.
had only a 44 last year. In fact, his touchdown today matches his total of all last year, 3. Here comes Atwater. And Bieniemy lucky to elude the safety, but loses yards anyway as Simon Fletcher, 73, and others make the tackle. Atwater did that in the first game against San Diego, didn't he?
And we were talking about this to the coaching staff. How are you going to avoid this? Watch the perfect timing. Atwater at the line of scrimmage, at the snap. I mean, he's there almost as Bieniemy gets. Now, the quarterback's responsible for that. You either get him 5 yards offside. You got to take your time and look at that defense. Make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, you can't give him a 10-yard running start. You're going to really have some disasters. 2nd down, 11. Humphreys underneath to Harmon. Oh, what a move on Mecklenburg. He throws Mecklenburg and has a first down at the 42. Wyman Henderson finally makes the stop.
Whoa. You know, Mecklenburg, one of the game's great players. Very seldom do you have a guy like Harmon do this to a guy like Mecklenburg. It's the circle route. He's just a little check through. There is something lying there on the ground. I'll not mention what it is, but all players wear it.
Your pride.
Yes, and among other things, Mecklenburg will have to get another one next time to the sideline.
Well, he'll get his share the other way.
Yes, he will.
5 times a Pro Bowler, Mecklenburg played at Minnesota. Big first down pass play. The run by Harmon, who's in motion, and the give to Bieniemy, the kid from Colorado. And he's built a lot like the great runner at Dallas, Emmitt Smith. He's not a small man. He's a short man. Bieniemy is 5'7", but weighs nearly 200 pounds.
I'm sure, too, anytime he can play back to the Colorado Rockies, where he had such a wonderful career for the Colorado Buffaloes, there's a little added incentive to Mr. Bieniemy. A mischievous little devil, and he admits to it.
Bieniemy, who grew up in this area, Southern California. Miller way out to the left on 2nd and a long yard. This is a free down for Humphreys, and he's going to use it. Play action. And he goes deep for Miller. Intercepted. A terrific play by Wyman Henderson.
Goodness.
His 2nd interception of the year. Did he play that well?
Dick,
and then to make a catch. It was a tough catch.
Dick, to begin with, I don't believe Anthony Miller was the primary receiver. You see, Miller's got to turn outside for this, but look at this effort. Or glue on those hands. And Denver comes up with the ball. Huge play by Henderson.
In my business, my hair has to look great. And even one flake of dandruff, even one, can wreck the whole thing. So I started using new Head & Shoulders. Yeah, Head & Shoulders is new. Now it gets to 10 times more of the places where dandruff starts. 10 times. No other shampoo has this formula. Even one flake is one too many for me. And new Head & Shoulders works harder at getting them. New Head & Shoulders, because great hair can't have flakes.
Our federal government has become a study in waste. A study in how elected officials cater to special interests rather than serve the interests of the American people. A bureaucracy that has poured $100,000 into a study of how to avoid falling spacecraft. $250,000 to study TV lighting for the U.S. Senate. And $19 million to study gas emissions from cows. The American people need to teach Washington a lesson in economics. We need to choose a candidate with the business sense to streamline spending and balance budgets. A candidate who will stop our government from throwing away our hard-earned money. This is no time to waste our votes on politics as usual. It is time for a candidate who will get down to business. It is time for Ross Perot.
The Oilers. The Steelers. A battle for AFC Central supremacy next Sunday.
Quarterback Stan Humphreys, 138-yard touchdown pass to Miller, denied on Wyman Henderson's superb interception in the end zone. Broncos take over at the 20 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Chargers 7, Broncos 0. And the give to Sammy Smith. And John Elway as Blaze Winter. He's back in. We had a report that it was a left knee sprain, questionable if he'd return. He's right back in there and makes a play.
He doesn't want to have to make another demonstration tape of what he can or can't do. Given the opportunity to play, he's another one of those guys who are going to have to drag off the field.
Meanwhile, John Elway, and it's hard to believe that Elway on the road this year, no touchdowns for the Denver offense, and it's now almost 3.5 games. A quickie to the sidelines. Vance Johnson. It's ruled a catch at the 30. Tony Blaylock, the defender.
Well, that quick release of John Elway. They're just patterns that Bronco receivers run that are indefensible. This ball is 3/4 of the way towards Vance Johnson before Blaylock has a chance to even notice the ball is on the way.
Spotted right on the 30-yard line, or the nose tickling it. Let's see. Apparently there's a couple of blades of grass shy of the 30, so it'll be 3rd down and an inch. Shannon Sharp, who pinched a nerve in his neck making the block earlier in this period, is back in the game. He's just off the left side and comes in motion. Greg Lewis, who starred at the University of Washington a year ago, 2 years ago, drafted last year by the Broncos, gets the first down.
Well, you realize the difficulty Denver's had. That's just their 4th first down in this game. It's 3:37 to go in the first half.
A fiery Reeves. He runs the show. And there, as you heard Gail Gardner's report on Reeves, that if there's a disagreement between Reeves and Bolin, it's that Bolin wants some of the power that Reeves now possesses. Elway going deep. Diving catch by Mark Jackson.
Goodness.
Flag is down.
But I don't know who you call it on.
Tony Blaylock running stride for stride with Mark Jackson.
Boy, I'm telling you, there was hand fighting all the way up the field. I don't know who you call this on.
I guess it's against Jackson.
Pass interference, number 80, offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
That is a 30-yard completion called back. This is excellent coverage by Blaylock. You're allowed that first, Chuck. Now the flag was thrown way down the field. Let's see. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. Where was the contact we're talking about there?
They allow that in touch football, don't they?
They allow that in basketball. Goodness, that was...
It must have... Well, it's not in here. There's no contact at all there of any consequence.
He throws the flag way back upfield, too.
A tough break for the Broncos, apparently. Penalized to the 22. Out of the backfield, Reggie Rivers. Knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Sean Van Horst, an extra defensive back, made the tackle. 3rd catch for Rivers.
And to this point, Denver, nothing they have done has really established something they can build on for the rest of the day. I think Dan Reeves is looking around for the right combination of people, personnel, and the right formation that's going to produce something here. They're just throwing the ball all over the place and trying the deep fade routes, and nothing's really working at this point consistently.
10 yards on the play. Make it 11, 2nd and 9. Jackson hangs on despite a vicious hit from Van Horst. And looks to the Chargers sidelines as if to say,
This is good hands display. When you can catch that ball with your hands as a receiver, much better chance of holding on to the football when you know you're about to get hit.
And close enough that they may measure.
They weren't very generous where he came down with that ball either.
Dan Reeves in his 12th year. Head of the Broncos. 3 out of the last 6 years, the AFC champions. And it's one length shy of a first down.
You know, you mentioned that Pat Bowlen may want to take back some of the power. What part of it would you suppose he'd want? What has Dan Reeves not done as a head coach that an owner can step in and say, I can do this for you? I mean, 4 out of 6, the last 6 years, I mean, the conference championship game. What else you want?
There must be more to it than we know. Although Reeves' wife and Bowen's wife went out shopping yesterday. They're out friends.
Yes.
Elway sneaks it forward for the first down at the 44. Elway, who always has moved the ball well on the ground, and in fact, he's in the top 10 all time, moving up to the number 7 spot as we hit the 2-minute timeout.
Ooh, darling, I need you so. Never, ever gonna let you go. 'Cause I'm the one for you.
Capture the ones you love without missing out on the fun yourself with a Sony Handycam, America's most popular camcorder.
There are 2 people who can raise your income and lower your taxes right now. You and your financial advisor. Call and find out how you can increase your spendable income with Nuveen tax-free mutual funds.
Make it clear. Make it colorful. Make it both. The DeskJet 550C. With DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard, it's easy to make it happen.
A reminder from Walmart. No matter who you are, no matter what you drive, there's one sure way to get more out of it. Regular oil changes with quality Haviland motor oil. When you add Haviland, you add more life to your car. And with Walmart savings every day of the year, you're not only miles ahead, you're dollars ahead too. Saving money at Walmart. It's an idea that's really catching on. Walmart. Always the low price. Always.
Hey, time for a Domino's Pizza, and the guys on NFL Live at halftime. You'll get all the scores and the highlights of games with Bob Will and OJ. 7-0. The only offensive highlight of this game, a 38-yard touchdown throw from San Diego quarterback Stan Humphries to Anthony Miller. The Broncos have only 87 total yards offense. That's 20 less than Anthony Miller has in reception yards. 2 minutes to go. All day for Elway. Someone's got to be open. There he is. Mark Jackson coming back. Donald Frank makes the tackle at the 32-yard line. Plenty of time. 1:43 left in the half, and this is Elway, that 2-minute drill.
This is the Elway zone.
He goes for 6, and Jackson's open.
Oh, come on. What is going on here?
John Elway to Mark Jackson.
Look at Raymond Berry smile. Raymond's seen a lot of people do a lot of things, but nobody in the history of the game does it like John Elway does in the final 2 minutes of a half for a game.
32-yard throw, and Elway hit Jackson in full stride. Here's David Treadwell to try the extra point. Tommy Maddox, the rookie from UCLA. Quarterback holds. And it's a new game, 7-all.
Amazing.
After the 2-minute warning, 31 seconds. Elway, 56 yards, 2 plays.
This is the first big catch by Jackson. Excellent pass protection by the Denver Bronco offensive line. You see Frank's thinking this play's got to be over. It has to be over. No, it doesn't. And Elway hits him on the money.
Well, that was just too much time. Elway had 10 seconds.
And now the touchdown. A slight move here by Jackson, but not much. But again, Donald Franks, perfectly thrown.
Well, that is a big league play.
And how many times has he done it? It just, let's go on to the second half.
Not many times on the road this year. That's the first touchdown for Denver away from Mile High. in almost 3.5 games. And that was a piece of art. Jackson at the receiving end.
So you're Bill Arnsparger, you're the San Diego Chargers. For 28 minutes, you beat them up. You confuse them. You do everything you possibly can. It all works. Last 2 minutes, 2 plays, tie score.
Nate Lewis now deep for the kickoff as Brad Delwiso, with that powerful right leg, only 5 returned all season, going to take a stiff breeze again. Well, he kicks this one low, so there's the 6th. Lewis runs right into his own wedge at the 24-yard line. So 1 minute 24 seconds left for the Chargers. They have all 3 timeouts.
Now, Dick, here's one of the reasons that John Elway is good at this. If you watch this guy right here, the safety, he is going to be influenced by John Elway. The pattern is just straight up the field. But watch John Elway is obviously looking right at that safety, influencing him. They run a man in a pattern right underneath it. The guy thinks it's going short. By that time, Jackson's by. Elway throws it perfectly for the 6 points. It's enough to make defensive coordinators throw up.
Well, we monitored the fact that Elway, 31 career fourth quarter comeback wins. Well, one was a tie, 30-0-1. And now it's the Chargers trying to reclaim the lead before the gun that ends this first half. Ronnie Harmon carries. 2nd down and 6.
They take a timeout.
Chargers. Timeout. San Diego.
Dick,
40 seconds.
Chargers played a perfect first half defensively, except for those 2 plays. And the score's tied.
I know you're eager to find out here, Bob Trumpy, what's ahead tonight. Secret Service, eyewitness video, and an NBC world premiere movie inspired by a true story. A policeman killed his partner out to get even. Where does justice end and revenge begin? It's called In the Line of Duty, Street War, tonight on NBC. Secret Service, eyewitness video, In the Line of Duty, Street War. What gives us a chance, Bobby Ross, baseball fan down there in Atlanta, where he coached Georgia Tech, and things are a little depressed there for all the Braves fans, but we want to send congratulations to all our friends to the north in Canada. That entire nation cheering the Toronto Blue Jays. First time in really a World Series, and Canada has the trophy.
Let me tell you a story about the Toronto Blue Jays and their fans in just a moment.
1:13 left in the half. Humphries underneath. Good catch by Nate Lewis. And Lewis breaking tackles to the 41 of Denver.
Well, Lewis gets up limping. He knows he's hurt immediately. Can't really tell what happened.
Timeout. 30 yards on the play.
Beautifully done by Lewis. Just ran the little circle route.
Second charge, timeout, San Diego.
See if we can pick up what happens. He's the man in motion there. Humphries finds him and finds him easily, and then an excellent move to get by. Let's see what happens.
Steve Atwater making the tackle down low might have twisted an ankle.
And my story about the Toronto Blue Jays fans, as you see the play again, I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. The major thoroughfare north and south to Florida is I-75, Interstate 75. Goes from the Canadian border. From now until December, all you see are Ontario license plates with Blue Jay signs in the back heading towards Dunedin Beach, Florida. That's where the Blue Jays trade. Snowbirds, they're called, and they start going south about now.
You don't even have to look at the license plates. Just look at the people inside with the smiles. Huh? Lewis appeared not to be seriously injured, and for the Chargers now with 55 seconds left in the half and 1 timeout remaining, they're drawing close to field goal range. John Carney's longest this year, 49, his longest ever, 54 yards, so they need to get down around that 35-yard line at least. Dan Humphries, a good half, 9 for 12, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Overthrows that one and out of bounds. Sean Jefferson, the closest Charger. 50 seconds left in the half.
Well, the Broncos got defensive backs all over the field. The pass rush of the Denver Broncos here consists of Carl Mecklenburg, linebacker, Simon Fletcher, linebacker, and Greg Cragen. So they have one true defensive lineman in the game. And everybody else is good. You see Kroll, Mecklenburg, Lilo Lang is in there, Henderson.
Rushing 3 men and an occasional linebacker. You saw Humphreys staring through the sun to get his sign from the offensive brain trust of the Chargers. The screen, the tight end Walker read well, and Lilo Lang makes the tackle. L-E-L-O. His mother threw a bunch of names in a hat, picked out Lilo. I don't know if she picked out 2 names and combined them, and so there are a lot of possibilities there.
He's lucky his name is not 6 and 7 8 or Stetson, or you don't know.
3rd down, 15.
Harmon.
Stripped away, out of bounds, comes back in, picks it up, goes back out of bounds.
He's the only guy who can recover it, but Wade Phillips is over there yelling. He did that on purpose. Inside the 2 minutes, it's got to go back to the spot where he fumbled it. He cannot make any yards on that. It's got to go right back to the spot where he fumbled it. So it makes no difference whether it was intentional or accidental. That's the Banaszak rule. In fact, it took place right in this stadium. Now that was not intentional, but it goes back to the spot where he fumbled it. He's going to lose almost 6 yards.
They're going to mark it back right about the 35-yard line. No, they're going to give him a little better spot than that. 33. Well, so far they haven't marked off. They haven't gone
We
back.
have a completed catch and fumble inside of 2 minutes, recovered by the fumbling man. The ball belongs to San Diego at that spot. We're going to measure it.
They don't put it back to where he fumbled.
Well, now that's an aspect of that rule that I didn't know. I know that you're the only one that can recover it, but I didn't know you could advance it and recover it.
And in this case, that's exactly what happens. That thinking they're the rule makers being that if you fumble intentionally forward, you're probably doing it because a defensive player has you, and if you're lucky enough to get downfield and recover it, then that should be okay. Dan Reeves certainly doesn't agree with the call nor the rule now.
Yeah, I think Dan Reeves and I read the rule the same way.
You're right. What a break for San Diego. A first down at the 32. It's a 14-yard play. 15 seconds left. 1 timeout remaining. Humphreys does not want to be sacked. He's in trouble.
Fumbled.
It rolls. No possession. It'll belong to San Diego at the 33-yard line. Broncos were all over it, but didn't recover before it went out of bounds.
Now that's a lack of experience, I think, on Stan Humphreys' part. You can see it looks like Kroll is the guy who gets him down, and then Mecklenburg 77, 76 finally gets it out of bounds. It's Broderick Thompson, but I think if he had a little more experience, Humphreys would have just thrown that ball down the field.
For Carney, he'll flirt with his all-time long field goal, 54. This will be 52 yards out of John Kidd's hold. 5 seconds left in the half. This to give the Chargers a lead at the intermission. Whoa. It's long enough. No good. Wide left. Reeves still furious about the play involving Ronnie Harmon. End of the first half in San Diego. Tied at 7. We'll be back after a message from the NFL and words from your local station. And yet they still have one number, 7, Elway, and that keeps them close.
And the other magic number for John Elway is 2 minutes. Either at the end of the half or the game, he comes up with a big play. Scores tied 7-7. I mean, Denver's not played well, and they're okay. They've not done much, but they're fine.
And they get the ball with some momentum after that drive by Elway. Carney roots it right through the end zone. Alton Montgomery lets it fly through. It'll be a touchback at the 20-yard line. Just to clarify that rule involving the fumble at the end of the half, Ronnie Harmon, a player inside 2 minutes on 4th down, as long as it's not an intentional forward fumble, can recover his own fumble and advance it. And it's the ruling, the argument by Reeves may have been that he intentionally did that, and the officials saw it otherwise, and that's why San Diego got that first down off the Harmon fumble.
I stand corrected.
See if that magic carries over for Elway and Denver. Little draw to Gaston Green for 3 yards. San Diego defense, despite the fact that they do not have their top pass rusher, Leslie O'Neal, they do have Junior Seau, his return after missing the Indianapolis game. Thornton and Seau make that last stop.
San Diego and Arnsparger in the first half moved this defense around, changed personnel, changed looks, all kinds of stuff to really confuse Denver's offense.
We have Steve Hendrickson now playing at a defensive end. Hendrickson, 34. And it's the same call, and Green close to a first down, tackled at the 29. Steve Hendrickson, he wore 56 with San Francisco as a 6th-round draft pick, and came down here to San Diego, and he saw 34 in his locker. He said, uh-oh,
they cut me. And then a coach comes up and says, no, we want you to move to offense. Here he is playing defense. I mean, he doesn't know what to do or where to go, but the Rocket Head adjusts.
He can play halfback, H-back, running back, defensive linebacker, defensive end, academic All-America. He said, I may be not smart, but I'm not crazy. Or maybe I'm crazy, I'm just not dumb. If you can follow the logic. Reggie Rivers has a first down at the 36. Darren Carrington made the stop. Denver comes out trying to penetrate that run defense of San Diego that stopped them pretty cold that first half.
I think that's when you find out who the real great coaches are. Third quarter numbers. After you faced a kind of a different offensive look, Arnsparger makes adjustments. Dan Reeves makes adjustments. Third quarter to me is always the most entertaining. That's where you find out who the coaches are.
It's like the second half in basketball, the first 5 minutes. A reverse, and it goes to Arthur Marshall. And this young man from Georgia with plenty of speed and burns it to the 48-yard line of San Diego. 16 yards on the play.
Okay, what Dan Reeves has said is, look, we're having trouble going through this defense. Let's try to get around it with something different. Perfectly timed. Looks like an old college pitch play. The lineman out in front, Wydell, is out there to do a good job of blocking. Well done. In a lot of teams' arsenal offensively, that's a trick play. For Dan Reeves, that's part of the standard fare with the Denver Broncos.
Reeves, a great player, as a free agent out of South Carolina for Tom Landry and the Dallas Cowboys. He could do everything. He could, that run pass option, the halfback option pass was his bread and butter. Dalton Hall. A Plan B acquisition from the Steelers wraps up Reggie Rivers.
Well, that was a fine tackle. They're still waiting for Dalton Hall to really emerge as the player they think he will be. But he's getting a lot of playing time today. He comes from the inside out and does not allow Reggie Rivers anything.
They give him about a half yard. Call it 2nd and 9. So the second half, 5 plays, 5 runs, 33 yards for Elway and the Broncos. Here a passing down, and Elway will accommodate. Gets away from Bert Grossman. And delivers it to Shannon Sharp down at his ankles, incomplete.
Dick, that was one of the rare blitzes you see San Diego run with Bill Arnsparger. Prefers not to use the blitz, but Seau came right up the middle. Here's 55, and they know it's an obvious pass set. You don't see this often. It's tied with a little twist. Reggie Rivers, 38, does an excellent job of getting at Seau's legs. And this is where John Elway may be the most dangerous, although he can't make the completion here.
And Mims, the rookie, didn't make a rookie mistake. He didn't hit Elway there and draw a flag. 3rd and a long man. Elway.
Seau
hits Vance Johnson, a first down, and it's the Elway scramble that does it.
Goodness. Junior Seau had him halfway down.
And Seau slow getting up. That was more frustration, I think, than anything else. And a flag down, and they'll call it back. Elway, with that eyes in the back of his helmet, escaped, but he has shown the league through 10 years. And Seau comes to the sidelines and in some pain.
Holding number 67, offense. 10-yard penalty, third down.
Doug Weidel, the right guard for Denver.
Ends up being Weidel. Excellent job by San Diego. They rush 5 here, Junior Seau being one of them. And you see Elway come underneath Grossman. And I think when Junior Seau really stretches out to catch Elway here, that's when he may have pulled his groin muscle again.
That was one of the fears of the Chargers, re-injuring, and they could really lose Seau for a long period of time. Third and long, the screen to Rivers. Well set up, a middle screen, and Rivers finally toppled at the 40 of San Diego. That'll leave 4th and 2 for Dan Reeves, an 18-yard play.
Middle screens are difficult to run, Dick, because what you have to do is basically turn defensive linemen loose on your quarterback. Elway, a big, strong, and tall quarterback, can just kind of flop it over the on-rushing defensive lineman. Rivers makes a nice catch, but not enough for the first down.
Gil Byrd is the deep man for the Chargers. So from the 40, Reeves tries to pin San Diego deep in its own end. And Lilo Lang is the man who fielded the punt when Byrd ran away. That allowed Lang to field it in the air at the 6-yard line. And with that, a timeout.
Why did Hertz invent #1 club goal service? To beat the rush hour. See, every plane and everybody seems to land at once. But with goal service, there's no stopping at the counters and no paperwork. Instead, you go nonstop to your waiting car with your name in lights. Only Hertz has #1 club gold. The best reason yet why Hertz beats the rush hour. To Hertz, the rest of the day is a piece of cake.
Silver summer. Silver time, silver line, girl in the silver suit look so fine. Look so fine. Silver bottom, silver top, silver fish, silver wish come from here, right from here. And it tastes so good. Cool light. It's the right here now. Cool light. It's the right here now.
The dream of a pure sports car has been kept alive by the people who race them. Those who believe in the simple thrill that only comes from driving a lightweight car with a lot of power. A car that car companies no longer made. But now, the new Mazda, the people who brought back the Roadster, announce the return of the pure sports car. The new RX-7.
Mazda, it just feels right.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Hertz #1 Club Gold. Hertz's fastest service, now in more locations coast to coast. By Coors Light, the silver bullet is the right beer now. By Delta Airlines. At Delta, we love to fly, and it shows. And by Mazda. Mazda, it just feels right.
A game for the Denver Broncos that would assure their position atop the AFC West. But should San Diego win, the West will be thrown into a scramble, and the Raiders charging hard after a terrible start and are currently leading the Dallas Cowboys up at the Coliseum. First down carry by Marion Butts out across the 10. Michael Brooks leads the Broncos in tackles again this year, makes the stop.
Now, last time San Diego played Denver up there, they rushed for 168 yards. Now, that was, of course, with Butts and Bernstein. Last week, Bernstein with 150 against Indianapolis. And today it's been in the hands of Butts and also Eric Bieniemy. He's got 47 yards now.
Humphreys with the virus, cold, the flu, still having a good game, 11 for 15. 2nd and 7. Butts again. Breaking tackles and out to the 17-yard line, very close to a first down. Mecklenburg finally got his 235 pounds on the pile to bring down Butts.
Excellent young offensive line here from San Diego. They've played almost intact for 2 years. Harry Swain considered one of the top guys, number 72, Moton. Very young, so's Paul.
Well, the Sports Illustrated had polled some personnel directors and talked about if the free agency came and those that would qualify, the hundreds, pick your top 10, and Swain was on that list. That surprised a lot of people.
Yeah, he was a defensive end until 2 years ago.
Humphreys on 3rd and 3. So they look for the run from San Diego, and Anthony Miller has the catch. Another for Miller and a first down in front of Atwater. 21 yards.
We've already seen this play, the exact same play from the exact same personnel. You see Atwater, the free safety, not rotating out far enough. And Miller again makes a nice catch with a good throw by Humphreys. His 6th catch on the day. Now this is zone. You can see the defensive backs looking in the backfield. Humphreys just able to gun it out there. Nice pattern run, well caught, nice play.
Yeah, Miller having a bold type game. 6 catches, 128 yards.
Oh, look at this.
Wide open, Derek Walker, the tight end. Only Dennis Smith to beat, and Smith gets him out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
Somebody leaves Walker alone completely. You see him there on the right. Humphrey picks it up beautifully, throws it right over the head of Michael Brooks.
59-yard rumble by the former linebacker at Michigan, 244-pound Derek Walker. 1st and goal, San Diego at the 2. And timeout called by the Broncos. So Michael Brooks saw Walker, the tight end, fly by, and a one-handed catch and a big San Diego play. Timeout by Reeves and company.
While the fluid styling of the Mazda 929 may be timeless, this generous offer from Mazda is considerably shorter. Now you can lease the 929, complete with dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, and European leather, for just $349 per month. So see your Mazda dealer today. Like all good things, this offer must soon come to an end.
Today, for the first time in half a century, America is not at war. And America's wartime economy is changing to a peacetime economy. But that change has brought fear and uncertainty. The fear of losing a job, of losing a home, the uncertainty of tougher economic competition from around the world. But with change comes opportunity. And my agenda for American renewal can be the bridge to the future. It provides a choice of quality schools so our children have the knowledge to compete. It provides job training so workers have the new skills to compete. It provides health care for all and controls spiraling costs so our people can afford to compete. And my agenda strengthens small businesses that create 2 of every 3 jobs so we have the new jobs to compete. Today, we stand at the threshold of a new era. We change the world around us. Together, we must do the same at home.
That big catch by the tight end Walker. He's here. Watch the edge of the screen. Left edge of the screen. Here comes the blitz. And Humphreys reads it perfectly. Just arcs it up there for Walker. Beautiful one-handed catch.
Dennis Smith, first player picked by Dan Reeves. Number 1 choice in 1981, saved the touchdown, 1st and goal, and there's Steve Hendrickson, number 34, lined up at fullback.
The human crescent wrench.
Humphreys fumbles the ball, twists into the end zone, touchdown.
Just the way we drew it up.
Quarterback fumble sneak.
Normally the fumble Ruski is not designed to go to the quarterback. This time he shows a little strength. This kid's 6'3", 230 pounds. Goes through the tackle of Dennis Smith. No slouch as a tackler and squirms into the end zone.
Yeah, very impressive 92-yard drive by San Diego in 5 plays. The key, of course, the 59-yard catch by Walker, the second longest play of the entire year for the Chargers. Carney's try for point. And San Diego leads 14-7.
Again, it's a straight lead dive. Humphreys never gets the ball cleanly. Finley bounces San Diego's way. He twists and turns into the end zone for a score.
So two of the teams that have trouble moving the ball. Chargers lead by 7.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Legends of the Game. As the expansion Tampa Bay Buccaneers' first ever draft choice, he waged a personal war against opposing players with a barely controlled fury. He prowled the field with a pirate's sense of justice. He plundered ball carriers and pillaged enemy passers. Who was this legend?
Back when all anyone could talk about was how fast cars could go, Liberty Mutual was thinking about how safe cars could be. So we began research on the safety belt, airbag, and anti-lock brakes.
There were 2 persons injured and 1 killed. The dead was James Byron Dean.
Leroy Selman had the physique to get physical and the spirit to break his foes. A true legend of the game.
The white zone is for immediate.
We didn't design the new Mazda MX-3 to be like apple pie. Jalapenos were what we had in mind. Because if something's not worth having an opinion about it, it's not worth having. And with the only V6 in its class, the MX-3 is one hot chili pepper. Hey, you're not John Doe. Why drive his car? The new MX-3 from the new Mazda.
It just feels right!
Stan Humphreys, a touchdown pass to Anthony Miller in the first quarter, 38 yards, and then turns a fumble into a 2-yard score to cap a 92-yard drive. San Diego 14-7, and this man complaining that he was ill yesterday. Sammy Smith and Alton Montgomery are deep. Carney's spinner sends Montgomery too deep into the end zone. Touchback. Well, one of the top events of the sports year, the Breeders' Cup. $10 million at stake next Saturday at 1:30 here on NBC. Oh, the great names will be involved. Strike the Gold, Pleasant Tap, AP Indy. 6 championship races plus the Classic for $3 million to cap 4.5 hours of racing action. It'll be from Florida's beautiful Gulfstream Park on NBC 1:30 next Saturday. Elway changing the play. And hands off to Sammy Smith, who gets out across the 25-yard line. Junior Seau, another tackle, helped out by Stanley Richards.
Again, the Chargers defense staying with that 4-man front, 1 linebacker, 5 defensive backs. That's been Arsbarger's choice throughout the game. Now they've changed personnel.
There's got to be another one. 4 linemen.
4-1-6. Excuse me.
4-1-6.
I apologize. 4-1-6.
Occasionally a 7.
Yes. Sometimes they try to sneak in an 8.
I thought you went to the Madden School of Mathematics for a moment. Elway to Sharp, intercepted by Gilbert. Bird to the 32-yard line. The 8th time that he's intercepted John Elway.
Shannon Sharp is the intended receiver. Bird, excellent coverage from the corner. They both played each other. He at San Jose State, John Elway at Stanford. And in college, Gil Bird never had an interception against John Elway.
But he's been tough on Elway in the NFL. And Elway told us yesterday, he's just so doggone smart. The 10 years, savvy, knows how to be in the right spot.
Timeout. We have a slight injury on the field for one of the officials.
One of the officials injured or ill, and so this timeout being taken looked as if one of the officials hit in the shoulder or arm as he's being helped off.
Charger trainers will attend to him. So will the doctors as best they possibly can.
I think it's Howard Slavin, the backside judge.
You know, the thing about Gil Byrd, the young man has the ability to sense what pattern is about to be run. He's looking right into John Elway's eyes, and he sees Shannon Sharp run the post corner, as it's called, and just drifts right back in there perfectly.
His 40th career interception. He's the all-time Charger career leader.
Watch what happens here. Here's the matchup right here. Byrd does an excellent job of reading just about what's to happen. He's looking in at Elway, sees it, aha. And then great skill to get up there and make that interception.
From the 32, leading 14-7. Atwater blitzing, and the flag goes down as Humphreys definitely throwing the ball away.
Yeah, and again, he allowed Denver to just rush that line of scrimmage.
Intentionally grounding. You see the other scores from the earlier games, the finals.
Intentional grounding, number 12, offense. The enforcement of the penalty is the spot of the foul. It's greater than 10 yards, and the down counts. It's second down.
Now see what Wade Phillips was betting, turnover. San Diego's going to try a big play after the turnover. So let's go blitz. They go in a quick count. Atwater's right at the line of scrimmage. If the count's on 3, Atwater's 5 yards offsides. As it is, costs him a down and distance.
Down and distance, and the 10 yards from the spot where he threw the ball. So
correct.
it's second down and 23. Ronnie Harmon in the backfield. Dumps it off to Harmon. Good move again by Harmon. This time it was Michael Brooks that was fooled. Lilo Lang finally makes the tackle. 18 yards on the play.
And the thing you gotta like most about Ronnie Harmon, Dick, is that he goes up the field. He really doesn't try to waste much time going left to right. He comes open, loose coverage here, but now, even though he makes the move, he's heading up the field. Lilo Lang gets him. Henderson gets him.
Third down and 5.
Actually make that Braxton. Same play works here, Dick. Same play.
Down the middle, wide open. Derek Walker, touchdown. Derek Walker's second career touchdown. 27 yards.
Well, you saw the man who made the interception, Gil Byrd, on the sideline. And in both catches that Derek Walker has had today, zero coverage. Just totally forgotten.
They obviously have caught the Denver defense not expecting Walker, primarily a blocker, to be a big-time receiver. But he has been today as Carney tries the point after. 21-7. Derek Walker's 4th catch. 104 yards for this tight end.
He goes by Michael Brooks, 56, right at the top of the screen there. I mean, totally busted coverage. Brooks is turning Walker over to someone else. There is no one else there.
Stan Humphreys celebrating a 2-touchdown lead late in the 3rd period.
Why can't van doors swing open instead of slide? Why do minivans handle like trucks? Why can't they feel more like a car? This is what the engineers at Mazda wondered when they designed the MPV. Because when you ask better questions, you tend to come up with better answers.
Why does your door do that?
The MPV from the new Mazda.
It just feels right.
The Postal Service would like to present 2-day priority mail. That's delivery into 2 days of up to 2 pounds for just $2.90. Remember, 2 days, 2 pounds, $2.90. 2-day priority mail from your Postal Service.
We deliver for you.
For pickup service, call 1-800-222-1811.
Hager's new 100% cotton pants solve a little problem our competition simply hasn't been able to straighten out. Hager wrinkle-free cotton, 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
From one of the most celebrated filmmakers of our time comes the most unforgettable love story of all time. Bram Stoker's Dracula, a Francis Ford Coppola film, rated R, at theaters Friday the 13th of November.
Pretty heady stuff for the San Diego fans. A 2-touchdown lead, and for Michael Brooks, time to try to assimilate 2 blown coverages as that man, Derek Walker, a 59-yard catch, beating Brooks to set up a touchdown, and then catches one of his own, 27 yards. Brooks again not covering him. They'll start at the 20 once again.
This motion affects Brooks, who is right here. Here's Walker. Walker is expecting help deep. This is a double rotation zone. The corner's up. You can see them. They rotate up. Brooks just lets him go. He's expecting a safety to be back there. I can score that one. If you can get it to me, Dick, I'll get it in the end zone.
You had your share. But Derek Walker had his second in his entire career. You know, we talked to him yesterday. He had a twinkle in his eye when we asked him, you don't catch many, do you? How many touchdowns do you have? 1.
We got some surprises for him, he says.
Elway. Little short cross-court pass. Shannon Sharp, who leads Denver with 28 catches coming in, has his first today. Stanley Richard, the hard-hitting safety, second-year man out of Texas, made the stop.
Haven't called his name much, but in your list of future superstars in this league, include this kid.
Dan Reeves high in his praise of Richard.
The way that they play defense today with a lot of 6 defensive backs, he's been sitting 30, 25 and 30 yards deep. And when you want somebody to support at the line of scrimmage, he's like Atwater and Smith.
Less than 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Denver trailing 21-7. Elway to Vance Johnson. How many times have they hooked up? First down at the 43. Richard made the hit. 18 yards on the play.
This is the one play that hurts the double rotation zone, Dick. Now you watch Bird. He turns Vance Johnson loose into the inside, expecting the safety Carrington to be there in coverage. The linebacker is supposed to be in the way. But the slant against the double rotation zone is always good.
Four wide receivers. Elway on first down from the shotgun. As a man, Reggie Rivers at the 48 of San Diego. That's 5 catches for Rivers, who had only 7 all season.
Chargers rush 5. You'll see Sayal, 55, come up on the line of scrimmage. Rivers comes out of the backfield, circle route wide open. Everything just unfolds right in front of us. Richards makes the tackle. They rushed 5, had 6 in coverage, all in zone. Elway finds the open man.
The 2 men that are not expected to be high on the reception list. Reggie Rivers for Denver with 5, and Derek Walker 4 for over 100 yards for San Diego. Too tall for Mark Jackson. Gil Bird was in the area. Bird, a walk-on in college, left high school. He's only 5'7" and 155 pounds, and walked on for Jack Elway, John's father, who was then the head coach at San Jose State. Papa Jack now is in the Denver Broncos organization as an advanced scout.
He and Dick Nolan. Nolan does the defense. Jack does the offense for their next opponent.
Well, I'd love to sit behind them while they're watching the game.
Yes.
Away out of the backfield. Rivers has another catch. Tripped up as he gets to the 41-yard line by Seau, who must be in double figures in tackles today.
Well, he has really gutted it out with his pulled groin muscle. You can see it right-hand side of the screen. He's trying to stay up with him. And when he extends himself, that's when that pulled muscle inside the thigh really hurts.
Another first down for Denver. 2 passes defended and 8 tackles officially for Seau. 2:49 left in this third quarter. That's the reverse that worked before to Marshall. Good piece of running down to the 36-yard line. Darren Sherrington and Gilbert, the tacklers.
I think once again, San Diego has done a remarkable job of giving a look defensively that's been hard for Denver to pick up. Arnsbarger there, the old master, known as, we're going to play a 4-man front, 3 linebackers, little zone, and all day long today he's played a 4-1-6 defense.
Dan Reeves, his counterpart, calling the offensive plays. 2nd and 4. Away on the scramble. Oh, boy, he didn't go sliding down. He took the full hit from Junior Seau.
That's his former teammate, Darren Carrington, too.
Elway, in a moment of perhaps just showing toughness rather than wisdom.
John, big, strong, physical kid. I think he sees 29 and says, wait a minute, yes, sir. He intentionally tries to put a hit on Carrington.
He's now past Terry Bradshaw as the number 8 rushing passer and is 2 yards away from passing his idol, Roger Staubach. But he really had to earn those.
Mr. Staubach was known for a few late game comebacks too, wasn't he?
The man who started late in the league. He was a 27-year-old rookie after serving his duty after graduating from the Naval Academy.
We did a thing for United Way one year in New Orleans. The first time I saw Roger, I said, Roger, what do you want? How you doing? He says, fine, let's go work out. I got a football. I want to throw to you. This was in March. Let's go throw.
First down for Denver. It's been a good try for the Broncos. Sammy Smith sent spinning at the 29-yard line. Henry rolling and Bert Grossman, and Grossman is getting up. No, Grossman is at 10. Yeah, he's okay, but there's a fallen Charger. It appears to be George Thornton. Yes, it is Thornton, and that'll be a timeout. 1:02 left in the third quarter. Denver trying to take a bite out of the Charger lead.
Cut a non-alcoholic brew tastes so much like beer, it'll fool them out. For the taste of beer, let the cutter flow. Your body knows the difference, but the mind don't know. Oh, taste Coors Cutter. Your body knows the difference, but the mouth don't know. Oh, taste Coors Cutter. Your body knows the difference. Cutter tastes like beer because it's brewed like beer, but the mouth don't know.
Only Delta gives you more flights from over here to over there. Only Delta flies you non-stop to more cities from over here to over there. In fact, only Delta flies you non-stop to more cities in Europe than all these airlines combined. Delta, we love to fly, and it shows the world over.
Here, there, everywhere. The DeskJet Portable. DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard. Make it happen.
The mind reacts to 2 pizzas for $5.99 with shock, disbelief, denial, and finally, acceptance. Now, Little Caesars 2 pizzas for $5.99.
Doozy doozy.
The Oilers. The Steelers. A battle for AFC Central supremacy next Sunday.
Been a long time since Dan Fouts was the quarterback. 2 men, 100 yards plus receiving. There you see Miller and Walker both over 100 today. Wes Chandler and Charlie Joyner against the Steelers in '85. Meanwhile, it's Denver on 2nd down. And Elway going to the short stuff. Shannon Sharp with a catch, shy of the first down. Brings it to about the 22-yard line. Dalton Hall made the stop.
This young man right here creates real problems for a defense. You put a linebacker on him because he's like a tight end, 6'3", 230, and he can outrun linebackers. You put a defensive back on him, and he's big enough to screen the defensive back to make the catch. So he's turned out to be a very valuable receiver for John Elway.
His brother Sterling, a star with Green Bay, had 35 catches coming into today's action, 28 for Shannon. Elway again, quickie out of the backfield. Seau gets Rivers, and it'll be close to the first down. It is first down, Denver. Impressive drive. Elway very patient as the final seconds tick away here in the 3rd quarter. And apparently that'll be the last play of the period. They'll start at the 20-yard line. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Tonight, a cop is killed and justice will become revenge.
You think you can just hang this on me like lights on a Christmas tree?
Inspired by true events in the Line of Duty Street War, NBC tonight.
The call comes down from Canada. Cold, crisp, clean. Friends come together to answer the call, to share the feeling. Molson Golden, Molson Light. Molson, answer the call.
Remember the last time we came to Chili's? You got the
chicken nachos.
Right, they were great, and then you had the
chicken fajitas.
Right, I remember how much you liked them, and I had the
grilled chicken.
Right, with the
steamed vegetable.
Remember our waitress? Remember what you said to her?
Check, please.
That's right. That was at the end of our meal. Oh man, our first trip here. Oh, I'll never forget it.
It was yesterday.
That's right. Plus, I remember. Man, it was great.
This is the $825 billion question. That's how much foreign corporations operating in the U.S. took in one year. But 72% of them didn't pay one dime in taxes. Not one dime. And George Bush supports tax loopholes for foreign companies operating here. Supports them so much that he attacks Bill Clinton for wanting to close them. Bill Clinton wants to collect what foreign corporations owe and put the money to work to rebuild America. Clinton Gore, for people, for a change.
The Bill McCartney Show, Sunday nights at 10:35 on News 4.
Fans here at Jack Murphy's San Diego Stadium in a happy mood, trying to knock off the #1 team in the AFC West and position themselves as at least a threat to the others in this part of the conference. 10-play drive by Denver. 60 yards, taking them to a first down at the San Diego 20 to open this 4th quarter. 21-7, Chargers lead. Elway. Whoa. Stanley Richard about a foot from a critical pick.
Oh, you know, Dick, on that play, just to show you what kind of respect now Denver is showing for San Diego, they only had 3 guys in the pattern. That means 7 guys protecting John Elway. That's tough when you've only got 3 guys out in the pattern.
Donald Frank, who was burned by Mark Jackson late coming on. No one's gone off. Snap the ball, you get 5 yards here. Timeout called.
They got it.
San Diego had to spend a timeout. That's expensive business. Dalton Hall finally getting off the field.
Yeah, Seau was imploring the umpire.
Timeout, San Diego. This is a 40-second timeout. 40 seconds.
Well, that one really has to be charged to the coaching staff. Frank coming on so very late.
Yeah, Orange Parker is the defensive coordinator. He will kick himself for hours after the game. He does not want to make mistakes like that from the sideline. How
about next Sunday? NBC Sports presents more exciting NFL action. Early game, Houston and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh plays later today. Indianapolis meets these revitalized San Diego Chargers. Houston already a winner today. Those are the games here in the West on NBC Sunday next. 50,000 plus on a perfect Southern California afternoon. And the Chargers with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to take the 21-7 lead. And now it's the Broncos. 2nd and 10.
Chargers staying with that defense. 4-1-6.
Sayal bluffing the blitz. There's a dump off pass, and Rivers has some room. Frank does a good job to come up and deny. Only a 5-yard gain. It appeared to be set up for much bigger.
Now, one of the things that helps you when you have a lot of defensive backs in the ball game is great speed to get to the outside. Now, Rivers, he does the pirouette there. Doesn't trick anybody. You see Karts, the center, come out 72. Sayal is out there. Frank's excellent job to hold that to just a 5-yard gain.
That's 8 catches now for Reggie Rivers, who is rested on 3rd and 5. And a 1st and goal is Vance Johnson. That's the bread and butter. Elway to Johnson, 10 yards. Donald Frank made the tackle.
Nice little out pattern run by Vance Johnson. Inside man in the formation, Gil Bird. Then they got man under, and Gil Bird slips down. Loses his footing. Franks has to make the stop. 1st down.
4 catches for Vance Johnson, who missed the first 4 games because of a chest muscle injury. Johnson diving unsuccessfully. Gil Bird covering.
Now, I must tell you, San Diego's staying with this 4-1-6. And with John Elway's running ability, this is a nice spot for a quarterback draw. Nice spot here for a quarterback draw.
And Elway loves to call that number.
Oh, there's no middle linebacker. This would work perfect.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Amos Alonzo Trumpy. Elway running it in untouched. You know what, I was just thinking that quarterback draw was really a terrific idea down there.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
And with that, he moves ahead of Roger Staubach, who ran that play pretty well himself as a running quarterback. So the Broncos and Elway back in it. Extra point to make it 21-14. That was quite a drive.
All right, watch Sayal out here, and the great block here by the guard. He just steps back and right through. When Sayal goes out in coverage, this is a lock. And John Elway runs it in perfectly. 21-14 are getting in Elway country here.
July 1992. Oldsmobile redefines quality. The Oldsmobile Achieva went head-to-head against Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. In a 100,000-mile real-world test, the independent test results prove Achieva beat them both with lower total cost, which consists of maintenance, repair, and operating costs. Quality has been redefined by Achieva and the company that went far enough to prove it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Fully conditioned, great looking hair. Head & Shoulders 2-in-1. You get complete conditioners with our proven dandruff shampoo all in one. For what could be the end of flakes and the beginning of something great. Head & Shoulders 2-in-1.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your home can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The NFL on NBC is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By the Diamond Anniversary Band. This year, tell her you'd marry her all over again. By your Allstate agent who wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate. And by the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be.
John Elway, who has rushed for over 200 yards every year except his rookie season with the Broncos, and that was his 21st touchdown. He had 6 of them rushing last year. Carney again with a heavy right foot. And another touchback. Maybe the 35-yard line's getting too close. Maybe they ought to move it back to the 30. It was taking the kickoff return right out of the game. Tonight, Secret Service, eyewitness video, then an NBC world premiere movie inspired by a true story in The Line of Duty, Street War, tonight on NBC, right after our NFL action. Bobby Ross looking for 3 in a row, and this was a game for credibility in Ross's verbiage. Chance for us to really start believing, and you sense that these Chargers are starting to feel comfortable in the Ross regime. Their lead cut to 21-14. Oops, Tragan was offside. Humphreys throws anyway. Might have been a free down, and Lewis fumbles as he's hit at the 31-yard line by Tyrone Braxton.
Probably a very smart play. Oh, drawing that. Sauché slow getting up. Wrong with his knee, but I would think that's a very smart play right now.
Oh, Sauché throws a punch at Broderick Thompson. He kind of caught him on a blindside punch, and that should carry an ejection notice with it.
I think Sauché is saying that this guy chopped me on my knee.
And boy, they're still going at it. This is about as rude a rumble as we've seen for a while.
Bobby Ross is out there on the field trying to get everybody he can back on.
Especially his quarterback.
Yes.
Don't you get in it. Oh, one of the officials did, and it's Jerry Markbright who says, reading his lips, he's okay, but he got knocked down in the melee. Sauché limps off. He got a right cross on somebody, Thompson, I believe.
Well, they always get the second guy. They never get the initial hit. The flag is never thrown there. And Sauché knows that when you're standing right there and throw a punch in front of the officials, that it's probably an ejection.
Well, if that isn't, they invite mayhem. Sauché explaining the block. It's in the interior part of the line, so that it was obviously a legal block.
It's offensive lineman on defensive end. There's no such thing as an illegal chop block.
Markbright gathering 2 things, information and his own faculties. It's a difficult... These men are not overpaid. I mean, they've had to make tough decisions, and with the size of the people with whom they are occupying the field, they take a certain amount of physical risk.
Offside. Number 71, defense. Declined. Take the result of the play. First down.
And no penalty? What?
You got to be joking. Joe Frazier would have been proud of that punch.
Well, it's Bobby Ross a bit bewildered. I guess it's one of those, how do you sort it out? If you threw a flag on that, it's 3 on one side, 3 on the other. But Sauché wide open through a right hand.
I don't know how you can ignore that if you see the punch thrown.
That was an incident that would make hockey proud. I take that back. They are trying to clean that up. I mean, they've made some definite changes there. So they take the play. First down. It was an 11-yard play. And here comes Marion Butts. And there's some emotions running deep now on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Sauché out of the game. And Dronette, I believe 99 has taken his place. That's Steve Antonopoulos, the gentleman with the mustache and the bald hair there, the Denver Broncos trainer. Sauché up and walking around.
Dronette, the number 2 pick out of Texas, seeing some duty. He has 1 sack this year. Second down, 5. Butts again. And stacked up shy of the 40, Greg Cragen, and Dronette in on the stop. We understand report from the Denver sideline. Sauché's injury not serious, that he will return, that he was leg whipped is the report we get, and that's what upset him. Well, that is illegal.
Yeah, but that happens on 85% of the plays. I think he got upset because he got hurt after he got leg whipped.
Leading 21-14, 12 minutes to go in the 4th. Inside handoff to Harmon. Boy, did Lilo Lang come up along with Atwater to make the hit. And it appears it'll be a first down for the Chargers.
Now, there's a little more going on out there right now, Dick. You can tell.
Yeah, the game all of a sudden seems to be up a notch.
Yes.
Everyone moving quicker and more physical in their application.
There's this formation again now with 3 tight ends.
And they run out of it this time to Butts. Not much there. Well read by Cragen. First to get a hand on Butts, and then Mecklenburg to fill the hole.
You notice they're also going with the quick count, San Diego is. Mecklenburg, a guy who's played defensive end, defensive tackle, inside linebacker, outside linebacker. No matter where they put him, he's an all-pro.
A man who was a 12th round draft pick. Went to Augustana College for a couple of years. Walked on at the University of Minnesota. Made a lot of phone calls. No one seemed that interested, so he just walked on with the Gophers. On 2nd and 7, Humphreys. Oh, flags go down as Atwater very nearly picking that one off, intended for Anthony Miller.
I think they got Atwater too with the hand on it.
They'll discuss the options here. No preliminary signal, and now Mr. Mark Bright.
Interference, number 86, offense. 10-yard penalty, second down.
Alfred Papunu, Weber State, tight end.
Yeah, now he wasn't the man out in the pattern. He was running underneath. Way underneath. He ran the pick and got caught, but he was a good 10 yards from that pass play.
So they'll mark off 10 to the San Diego 34. Ten minutes, 45 seconds left, final quarter, unless we have overtime. Humphreys to Harmon. And Harmon could not get away from Mike Kroll. Well, he's put a move on Mecklenburg, put another big move on a Denver linebacker Brooks, but he couldn't elude Mike Kroll, who was the AP NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year last season out of Nebraska.
Last year, too, was a big pass rusher, had a lot of sacks. But he had so many sacks last year that the offenses this year figured out we better put tackles and guards on him. Last year, they were putting running backs and tight ends.
10 sacks last year, 1 this year.
That's not that he's having a bad year. He's been complimented, getting a great deal more attention.
Let me take that at 3.5 sacks this year, Bob Trumpy, and 1 forced fumble. 3rd and long, 20, and another timeout. So that's 2 spent by the Chargers before we get to the crucial time. 9:56 left in the fourth.
10 years. I still get butterflies.
Funny, she doesn't look married. I bet she cries or bites her lip.
Hello, stranger.
I'm hardly a stranger.
Well, you are late.
I know. You shouldn't have waited 10 years for this. Happy anniversary.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. Tell her you'd marry her all over again.
You sure can pick an appetizer.
When you compare Bravada's Smart Track to Explorer's four-wheel drive, it's easy to see who's in control of the situation and who's slipping up. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Up a steep grade, under slippery conditions, the Oldsmobile Bravada can beat the Ford Explorer. Even with one boat tied behind its back. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Nipper and Chipper show us what the RCA home theater with SRS sound looks like. Now they show us what it feels like. Looks like. Feels like. Looks like. Feels like. Any questions?
Something's happening to Fridays on NBC. Something
incredible, unbelievable, fantastic.
The biggest stars, the best stories. Forget TGIF. This is TGIP.
Thank goodness. It's Perry. Perry.
Barry.
Perry.
Perry.
Go on.
Perry.
Perry.
Perry Mason Mystery Movies every Friday.
That's all I need to know.
John Elway telling his defense, just keep them within a score. Give me another chance. 21-14. Third down and 20 as we resume action. Bobby Ross has only one timeout left. We'll see if that's critical later on. And a long way to go from his own 31 to get a first down. Kroll comes. Ronnie Harmon looking for a block. And Lilo Lang and Michael Brooks make the tackle at the 42-yard line, a gain of about 11, and the punting team on for San Diego. Well, Humphreys told us he's still learning the offense, although the benefit of being under the Washington system, coming here where so much of the nomenclature was the same and the philosophy. But it appears the Chargers have a big league arm. He's got a major league throw.
Does he ever have a big league arm?
Kidd, a high kick to Marshall. Fair catch at the 8-yard line. And a flag is down. 50 yards on the punt by Kidd. Holding against Denver, so they'll go half the distance from the 8. That means the Broncos will start from their 4-yard line.
Is it a little early for Elway heroics?
Well, 31 comebacks in his 9+ years, more than Montana or Staubach, Marino, Kelly, his contemporaries.
The most famous one, of course, was the AFC Championship game in Denver. Did you ever hear what Keith Bishop said about that, the offensive left guard? They go out in the huddle, and they're at their own 2-yard line. And somebody asked Elway, what'd you say in the huddle? He said, all I did was call the play. But Keith Bishop said, we got them right where we want them. And they scored.
That was one of the thrills for me as a sportscaster to call that game. 1st and 98 to tie and then to win in overtime. If you look at the other scores, and some surprises there. New England trying to beat Cleveland, and Indianapolis making it tough on unbeaten Miami. So from the 4-yard line, the crowd trying to help the defense. Grossman deflects the ball incomplete.
That was a screen attempt.
Bert Grossman, who's always had a love for exotic pets. He's tamed down as he's aged, now at 25 years of age.
He does an excellent job here. He stands up the offensive tackle. You see it's intended for Rivers. I like this present pet. I like this present pet.
Well, you got 2 Rottweilers and a Minor Bird. I asked him if the Minor Bird can talk. He said no, he can only bark. There's a reverse to Marshall. Boy, that's an interesting call down on your own 4-yard line, and he gets it out to the 10. Arthur Marshall, the most famous player in the history of Hepzibah, Georgia.
No argument there.
Dan Reeves finds himself 3rd down and 4.
Well, you can see how difficult it's been. A screen attempt on the first play, a reverse on the second play. They're just conceding. They're not getting much straight at their San Diego defense.
Jackson to the left, Johnson to the right, Marshall in the slot. Elway, incomplete, and deflected. Bird again. How about that? Number 9 against Elway. Games in the NFL against John Elway, and Gilbert has 9 picks. This one was a gift.
From behind the defense, Elway's got plenty of time. Carrington, 29, gets it in the air, intended for Vance Johnson. I have a suggestion for Denver. If possible, when they need another defensive back, acquire this guy. Just so he doesn't have to, he won't intercept Elway.
Now the Chargers leading 21-14, have it at the 18-yard line. Marion Butts struggling for 3.
Even though the Broncos have put 14 points on the board today, Dick, I think after the game, certainly not over, but they will say that it was an offensive struggle today. This is a vastly improved San Diego defense. Today, it stayed with one look. A 4-1-6 defense, played beautifully, executed flawlessly.
Elway said, along with his savvy, he said he also has such good hands, and he showed that on that play. Walker in motion. Butts 1 yard, and then Carl Mecklenburg.
I almost get the feeling that San Diego's playing for 3 points here. I don't want to take a chance of putting it up in the air.
7 minutes and 17 seconds left. A ton of time for Elway and Denver. Carney, the place kicker. Miller left. Lewis slot left. Walker in the backfield with Butts on 3rd and 7. To Lewis.
Boy, he was open too.
He had beaten Tyrone Braxton. They're just a step off on the rhythm of that pass. So Carney comes on for the field goal. That would give San Diego the 10-point lead. Carney missed today from 52. He's 8 for 13 this year. This one, 32 yards. And the Chargers have the lead by 10, but a flag is down. Hold on. Linesman has thrown a flag. And Denver pointing at the blue shirts.
Illegal formation foul. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Offense. Number 72 was not on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Harry Swain was pulled off the line of scrimmage.
You've got to have your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, and I think they're trying to tell us that the tackle, it's hard to see in there, did not have his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and up on the line of scrimmage, and therefore there weren't enough men on the line of scrimmage.
So it's a 39-yard try by Carney. check it. 37 yards. 37. Good. Boy, 2 cannon shots in 2 minutes. They haven't used that cannon much this year, or for the last several. 24-14 for Bobby Ross's Chargers.
Yeah, he wants to get back to
Another
work.
delay is unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly.
Ann Joyce is waging a war
Therapy can't wait.
against the high cost of workers' compensation
On my
insurance.
way to see a supervisor.
She fights for better medical care for injured workers
He's red. He's on crutches.
so they get back to work faster.
I'll let him do some phone work on sales.
Perfect.
You'd think she'd be the kind of person who'd make an insurance company nervous.
Good news. You're going back to work.
Actually, thanks. She works for one.
Wouldn't it be great if you could afford a luxurious mansion? For you and all your friends? Of course, the place needed some updates, like a bowling alley and a pool table. Naturally, you'd have an open house. Oh, dear! With beer! Harold, do something! Icy, cold-filtered Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Bottle beer cased in a can. Now, wouldn't that be great?
Oldsmobile redefines quality. Here's proof. Call 1-800-THE-TEST to get independent test results from a 100,000-mile real-world test of the new Oldsmobile Achieva against Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. Learn how Achieva outperformed Accord and Camry in total cost, which includes maintenance, repair, and operating costs. You'll even get a free video documenting the test. Achieva, quality redefined, from the company that went far enough to prove it. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Tonight, from actual Secret Service case files, a botched robbery forces a desperate move.
Don't hurt my family! Don't make me!
An all-new Secret Service, NBC tonight.
John Elway continues to be terrorized by Gil Bird, the Charger defensive back, and the 2 interceptions. The difference in the game, 10 points. This one returnable. Alton Montgomery, former Houston Cougar, has a crease and all the way out to the 35-yard line. Steve Hendrickson and others in on the tackle. Sean Van Horst and Deems May as well. Well, there's a talking bird. And he's been a star in that secondary. 40 interceptions in his career. #1 pick in '83. That was the year of the quarterbacks, '83. And he said, no, it's the year of the cornerbacks as well. Darrell Green, in fact, of Washington, picked just after Bird in the first round. Away underneath. Rivers having a career day catching the ball. He's had more receptions in this one game than his entire NFL career.
Dick going with the hurry up here. This is not the last 2 minutes, but in desperation for Denver.
Vance Johnson incomplete. John Van Horst on the coverage. 3rd down and 5 for Denver.
Now, if San Diego has an advantage in this against this hurry-up offense here, they've been in this defense all day long. They're not bringing in new people to face John Elway and his offense.
Denver Broncos 4-0 at home this year. They've won 14 of their last 15 at Mile High, but looking for their first win on the road this season. And there's the catch by Derek Russell from Arkansas, second-year man, 11 yards, first down at the San Diego 49.
You're going to be very loose in coverage, but you can see half of it. There's 2 defensive backs. There's 6 total on the screen. And Elway finds the man coverage outside Blaylock on Russell. But San Diego will give him that 10, 12-yard completion there.
Prevent defense sometimes prevents winning. Oops, looked as if the Broncos were offside, no flag. Elway almost picked off by Bird. No, this time it was number 25, Sean Van Horst. Saw the 1-2, and I thought Bird's in there again.
Bird was right behind him. Let me tell you something about the prevent, though. It's not just personnel. It's a mindset. When the coach says prevent, all you want to make sure is nobody gets deeper than you do. That's when teams get beat. You got to look at more than personnel to determine whether or not it's prevent. This is not a prevent defense here.
Elway 19 for 36 today. Over 200 yards, 1 touchdown passing, 1 rushing, 2 interceptions. Underneath, Mark Jackson breaking a tackle. And Jackson finally hauled down by Richard inside the San Diego 30. 21 Denver yards.
Well, that's another thing you got to do when you have single coverage in a hurry-up situation. You've got to make the tackle. It's just a delay inside. And then Franks misses the tackle. You can't do that.
Elway going for 6. Got him in. Touchdown, Mark Jackson.
Amazing.
His second today. And again, a beautiful throw by Elway.
Now, why that cornerback bought the outfake is beyond me.
Bert Grossman down back at the line of scrimmage.
Denver not going to go easy today. Not a bad day for Jackson, huh?
His second touchdown catch, and it was Elway to Jackson at the end of the half. 2 quick plays that totaled 56 yards. The capper 32 in the touchdown. Another touchdown, 28 yards. As they attend to Grossman. It took Elway 1:32 seconds to go 65 yards in 6 plays. It's almost as if you need to go up and whisper to him, you got to hurry up. The clock is working against you, John.
Yeah. Now, the cornerback on this side, on the side where this pattern takes place, stops for someone. Frank's 27. I did not see Elway pump the ball.
Well, Frank has been burned often in the last couple of years and has been under some heavy critical fire here in San Diego.
But there was something that drew Frank up that allowed Jackson to get right by him. I did not see a pump fake by John Elway. He just misread what the pattern was.
And Frank was beaten on the first touchdown.
Yes, he was.
To Jackson in the closing minutes of the first half. So with plenty of time, 5 minutes and 3 seconds left. Let's look at this again. A fan has run on the field, and that's why we've had a delay.
Okay, here again is Jackson, and the pattern is just up the sideline. But as you watch Frank drop, he stops right here. And Elway just continues to look at the receiver. Jackson goes right by him, and it's a relatively easy completion. Now, what makes him stop? He may just be reading that Elway stopped, I stopped in the drop, but it was a huge mistake. Now, Elway did make the touchdown. Then San Diego certainly helped there.
24-21 if Treadwell can make this extra point. And so it is. Elway trying to rally the Broncos again as we go to Bob Costas in New York.
Well, Dick, talking about Elway's capacity for fourth quarter comebacks, here's a guy who's had his share, Dan Marino. He rifles this one 12 yards to Tony Martin. Pete Stoyanovich, however, missed the extra point, so Indianapolis is still within 3. A little under 6 minutes left. Miami 20, the Colts 17. Dick?
All right, Bob, as the Dolphins struggling to make it 7 in a row. And here, Elway and the Broncos in their own fight trying to capture a road win. They were thoroughly humiliated by the 2 NFC Eastern opponents, the Eagles and Redskins. Lost to the Cleveland Browns. That just beat the Cleveland Browns without scoring a touchdown, and Donald Frank might have an interesting week ahead of him.
He was just being addressed by Bill Arnsparger, the defensive coordinator.
Nate Lewis deep. Luiso, only ball returned was one he purposely skidded low. He'll root this one. And Nate Lewis settles under it at the goal line. Good coverage by Denver. He won't get to the 20-yard line. Lee Lo Lang, another tackle. He's had a good day.
Well, now San Diego's got to take inventory here. They're going to get the ball at their own 17. They have one timeout left. They lead by 3. Denver's got 2 timeouts. Their defense can stop the clock. They need a bunch of first downs. They cannot put the ball back in the hands of John Elway. That's pressure.
And Butts has not dominated this game on the ground the way he has in seasons past. And they come out with Eric Bieniemy, number 32, the second-year rusher from Colorado, who saw his first real duty. Carried the ball only 3 times as a rookie last year. But against Indianapolis in the last game, had 52 yards rushing. Fake to Bieniemy. Throw underneath to Ronnie Harmon. No, it's Bieniemy, and Bieniemy takes it to the 26-yard line. Kroll and Brooks make the tackle.
Well, the Denver defense has done a good job in situations like this over the last several years. Stopping the opponent's offense, getting the ball back in the hands of John Elway. So in all those gut-wrenching wins in the last few minutes, you got to give a lot of credit to his defense.
Pickup of almost 9 on that play.
Be very deliberate here, Stan Humphries. Take a lot of time between each play.
Down to 10 on the play clock. Give the Bieniemy. Boy, ran over Atwater, and that's tough to do.
Good.
First down at the 31.
That's impressive. Atwater at close to 220 pounds. He just bounced off Bieniemy. They ran the tight end wham. You see the tight end coming in motion. Bieniemy goes outside. This kid is a little rock. And watch Atwater. You see him coming. He has a good approach to make the tackle. Swamp.
Wow.
Puts him right on his keister.
Mecklenburg secures the stop, but a first down at the 31. 3 carries, 12 yards for Bieniemy. He had, as I said, only 3 carries all last year. And here's another. Fumbles! That's the negative side, and Denver recovers. Michael Brooks. Bieniemy has had problems in college and with the Chargers holding on to the ball, and he took a rocket hit from Dennis Smith, the veteran, I believe, came up. No, it was Brooks who made the hit, and Dennis Smith who recovered the ball. A lot of Denver fans here cheering that play. That was a collision.
Brooks, the leading tackler on the Denver Broncos, really hammers him and knocks it loose.
Michael Brooks, 235-pounder from LSU, and that was a tackle by design.
Here comes the heartbreak side of the Denver Broncos.
From the 35, make it the 34. Plenty of time, 3 minutes plus. Elway's going to go for it on first down to Jackson. Intercepted. Is it count? Tony Blaylock. Yes, it does.
They're still talking, Dick. I'm not sure about this yet.
Blaylock right in the corner, so close to being out of bounds. The signal was touchback.
Yes.
Touchback.
Okay. 3 interceptions today of John Elway. There you see the whole thing. Blaylock. Second foot must come to. Whoa. Whoa. 12 months ago, that would have been a long, incomplete pass. The first foot wasn't even down inbounds.
And you couldn't even really make a case for him being ridden out by the receiver. He was definitely going to be out of bounds with one of the feet, if not both.
Well,
things like that happen.
Yeah, but they don't need to be like that.
And I know that'll bring up the holster, and of course we on television will keep replaying it. Well, that the officials
came down with 1 foot in the end zone and was forced out of the end zone. Foresight was ruled. Consequently, the catch.
Ruled that the contact did force Blaylock out, but he didn't get 1 foot down.
But I admire Jerry Markbright for at least explaining why they ruled that the interception did count. Dan Reeves beside himself. Yeah, they will replay that play a lot in Denver.
You bet. So fumble by Bieniemy. Next play, a controversial interception by Blaylock of the Chargers. 3 minutes, 10 seconds left. San Diego by a field goal. Butts is in there, needless to say. And Brooks is there to greet him.
You want to know why this defense is so good? I mentioned that Brooks is the leading tackler. The second leading tacklers are Atwater and Smith, the safeties. Third is Mecklenburg. Fourth is Craig,
this is a 40
Cragen, the nose tackle. That's why it's
Hager's new 100% cotton pants solve a little problem our competition simply hasn't been able to straighten out. Hager wrinkle-free cotton, 100% cotton, 0% wrinkles.
Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime now has a maximum strength cough suppressant and a maximum strength antihistamine, so you get the relief you need to rest without alcohol. Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime, tough medicine without alcohol.
Former Cleveland Brown Tony Blaylock with interception that goes San Diego's way. Final in, Dallas has ended the Raiders run, 3 in a row, 28-13 for the Cowboys, who are presenting themselves as one of the class teams of 1992 as the Cowpokes go up 6-1. Here, Denver in the lead in the AFC West with a 5-2 record coming in. San Diego winning its last 2 after losing the first 4. Second and 11. 1 timeout left for each side. Humphreys into the flat and misses Walker badly. He was being pressured by the rookie Shane Gronett.
Oh, he needs to collect himself here. They need a first down or 2. 2:57. That incomplete pass stops the clock.
Well, it's a break for Denver with only 1 timeout left. The running play they'd had to probably have spent their last timeout.
Yes, you can't give Denver just half a breath, any space whatsoever. They're rushed through it.
3rd and 11. Ronnie Harmon in. Dump off to Harmon. He's to the 30, and that looks to be good enough to have, yes, a Charger first down. What a big play.
Now this is where the quarterback takes over. He's making a very high percentage pass here. See Harmon fake like he's going to. Good move on 51 Kroll. Very well done. Now Harmon picks up the first down. 2:26 and the clock is moving. Now the quarterback has got to take over here. Very deliberate. He does not have to. Yes, he has to run a play before the 2-minute warning. But it should come at like 2:01. He's not.
Butts on first down. Finally written down by Brooks and Mecklenburg. And there's the 2-minute timeout. As the Chargers try to keep the ball away from Elway, leading by 3.
When you compare Bravada's Smart Track to Explorer's 4-wheel drive, it's easy to see who's in control of the situation and who's slipping up. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. Up a steep grade, under slippery conditions, the Oldsmobile Bravada can beat the Ford Explorer. Even with one boat tied behind its back. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
Castrol GTX is the only leading motor oil that meets the world's toughest requirements for viscosity breakdown in every grade. This is the only way to get that kind of performance from any other leading brand. Castrol GTX, engineered for today's smaller cars.
There are two people who can raise your income and lower your taxes right now. You and your financial advisor. Call and find out how you can increase your spendable income with Nuveen tax-free mutual funds.
Make it clear. Make it colorful. Make it both. The DeskJet 550C. With DeskJet printers from Hewlett-Packard, it's easy to make it happen.
If you want to go places in any career, ask yourself, can I perform under pressure? Can I be counted on to get the job done? You can learn how in the Army, so when you're ready to take off, you'll know you can go far.
The Chargers leading by 3. 2 minutes to go. One timeout left for the Denver Broncos on 2nd down and 3. And a first down here for the Chargers would just about spell another disappointment on the road for Dan Reeves' Broncos. Elway itching to get another chance for a comeback in the final 2 minutes. Meanwhile, his counterpart, Stan Humphries, has had a big day. 349 yards passing. Butts hit by Brooks, and he drives on second effort to a first down, I believe. Marked down at the 41-yard line.
Boy, it's close, Dick.
They need a measurement. Yes, they will.
Put it in the hands of the guy who does not fumble, who has that great body lean.
Brooks made a perfect hit there to drop him 3 yards shy of where he finally landed. Meanwhile, a minute and 30 seconds to go, and Miami and Indianapolis is leading 24-20 against the Dolphins. With Rod Bernstein out for 6 to 8 weeks and maybe the year, it is a first down. Butts is carried for 76 yards today.
Okay, now the clock should start again. 1:44. As soon as they get the chains reset.
Denver uses the timeout right here, which they don't.
It's running.
So Reeves saving that timeout in case there's a turnover.
If you stop them on the first down, then you take the chance with the timeout on the second down. Hope you can get it back one more time.
5-4 on the play clock as Butts another carry. They go for the ball, but Butts covers well at the 37-yard line, and Mecklenburg spends the last time out.
Third and last charge timeout.
Denver playing for
40 seconds.
First place.
Timeout.
San Diego playing for credibility and respect. After 4 straight defeats, looking for 3 in a row. Now time for the Hager wrinkle-free cotton super play of the game. And it has number 22 written on it. Gil Bird, his second interception. This one just being alert enough. That ball deflecting off Carrington, off the helmet of Vance Johnson. And Bird, he has been Elway's demon.
Second of 2 today. 9th in his career. And I'm telling you, Denver ought to acquire this kid just so Elway doesn't have to worry about it. They're celebrating early. Plummer and Bird.
Nothing to stop the clock now unless San Diego helps them. Second down, 13. 1 minute, 15 seconds to go. And you get 45 seconds to play, and simple mathematics, unless you throw the ball incomplete or go out of bounds, San Diego can almost kneel down here and run it out. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, I mean, too many guys on the field.
All right, they'll reset it at 45 and wind it up again. So 40 now. So one more kneel down, and Dan Reeves will be biting his lip all the way back to Mile High, and he'll have a lot to chew on along with the fans and the press in Bronco land. That interception in the end zone being one of them. But San Diego's Blaylock denying Elway. The man who no one wanted a year ago, Blaze Winter. Part of the inspiration of this young San Diego team.
That's it.
Don't wander away. The excitement of that game down in the South Florida, Indianapolis, Miami. The Dolphins with a final chance. Charlie Jones and Todd Christensen down there. Soon as we officially spin the final seconds. The San Diego Chargers, 3 straight victories, and they're back in the AFC West 24-21. They defeat the Denver Broncos. And veteran Gil Burns, 2 interceptions crucial to the win for Bobby Ross. That's the story in San Diego. Let's go to the final seconds in Miami.